We are now joined by UFC middleweight Darren Stewart. Darren, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
We'll take our first question from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cage Side Press. Your line is open.
Hey, Darren, you're coming off a big win in your last one. How did that affect the mood for this mini camp going into this latest fight?
Affected it in a positive way because I'm coming off on a high, so there's no point of downing myself. So just onwards and upwards now.
Does it feel a bit like deja vu to come back to fight in Vegas again so quickly? You know, it's the same hotel, same venue, etc.
Yeah, but it does feel like deja vu. I might as well just slept here, to be honest.
Do you do anything like ask for the same hotel room, anything else, just so, it just feels more familiar for you?
No, just take what they give me really, and I'm just here.
I get that. You fought some up and coming guys with hype before, Edmund Shabazian, Duran Wynn. How does that experience help you to take on another prospect like Kevin Holland?
Just another day in the office, whether they're experienced or not. A fight's a fight. You just got to go in there and just do your best.
What does he do that makes him a dangerous opponent?
Don't know, to be honest. Everyone's dangerous. Everyone in the UFC is dangerous. So he's not different to no one else. I'll fight him. The next guy be dangerous. The next guy be dangerous. So it is what it is. We're all dangerous. This is why we're in the UFC, putting a show for the fans.
My final question, what do you most want to show for yourself in this latest fight?
I want to show what I planned out to do the last time. But I didn't get to because it happened so quick. So I want to show that I can have it, just have a war and just give it my all. So, which I know people already know that anyway, but I'm not finished yet. There's a lot missing. There's a lot missing, and I'm not even talking about the wins I've had or losses I had or the knockouts, whatever. The stuff I do in training I haven't showed the world yet. People are jumping off their chairs because I got a guillotine. I've been doing that since training. I've been telling people. I'm training my cousin, my coach, doing judo, grappling. Michael Russell, do you know what I mean? Claudio Silva, London Shoe Fighters. Bit with Titan. I've been grappling. I've been getting it. It's just the world ain't seen. So I want to show this time as well on the striking side of things that I can have it. You guys know I can have it, but there's still stuff missing that I do in training that I haven't showed the world yet. So hopefully I can do it.
Thank you, Darren. Good luck.
Cheers.
We'll go next to Jeffrey Harris with 411 Mania MMA.
Hello, Darren. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Thank you for joining us today, Darren. So early on in your UFC career, you had your first win overturned to a no contest. And then you went on a 3-fight losing streak. So what is the mindset, when you're on a losing streak and, you've lost 3 in a row to kind of get past that and overcome that and sort of make a better showing as you have lately?
I can't speak for no one else, but for me, it was a case of just don't giving a damn, stop caring. I came back to the country as a winner and then I got overturned. Then I lost. Then I lost again. And the reason I was losing because it's me making mistakes and my mind wasn't there, and I wasn't performing to the best of my ability. And it got to the point where I said, I don't care no more. I don't care about because remember, I came to UFC's unbeaten. So I was the guy, unbeaten Darren, you know what I mean? And then when I got like cheated and I lost 3 in a row, I was on the verge of giving up. And then people begged me not to give up. And I said, no, I can't do no more. And then I promised I'll carry on fighting. I mean, it got to the point where I just don't care no more, man. As fighters, you've got to stop caring what people think. That's what we do. It's not like the fighting what we do. We love fighting, but we care what people think. We're not thinking about the opponent. We're not thinking about the win or loss. We're caring about what happens after tonight. What are people going to say when we open our phones and go through social media? What is your friends going to say when they see you? Do you know what I mean? It's just like I lost them 3 fights because I put pressure on myself. Do you know what I mean? Like if I lost the 3 fights in a row, but I did what I wanted to do, I couldn't care less. But I lost because I put weight on my shoulders, I put pressure on myself, and I started thinking about record. And I was hearing rumors, like you lose 1 or 2, UFC letting you go. So it's like before I even got in there, I'm ready put myself down, and that's why I lost. Then it got to the point after the 3rd loss, I said, you know what, F it. I think it was the last fight of my contract as well. I said, you know what, I'm gonna go in there, do what I want to do. I don't care what happens tonight. I lose, I win. I don't care what happens. And then that's why when I fought in Liverpool, I broke down crying because it was emotional. Like the guy came from, lost 3 in a row, and then I didn't care I didn't care no more, and I just won, and that's how I broke down crying. So my message to people out there, fighters, I know watching you, just go have fun, man. You know, you could win, yeah, but you could be boring. You can still get let go. You could lose, be entertaining. They can keep you and get bonuses. There's money to be made in this game as well at our level. There's money to be made, so why are you caring? And that's what happened. I don't want to keep dragging it on, but that's what happened to me. I care so much. Now I just don't give a damn.
But speaking of pressure, you fought last month and now you're fighting this month. Can you tell us the mindset and, you know, the difficulty in sort of prep time and doing such a quick turnaround for a fight like this? And I'm also curious how long you've had to prepare for your opponent, Kevin Holland, like when you found out you'd be fighting him.
Yeah, the mindset's crazy. I'm still dealing with it now and had no time to prep for Kevin Holland. My style's pretty good like that because I just go in and have it with anyone. So I don't need no game plan really. So I'm kind of gifted. Not many people can fight like me and do my style. Do you know what I mean? But the mindset of like fighting last month to now is crazy. After this one, I think I might need a little break. Whether decide to go out again, maybe end of November and maybe early December. But that gap that I had from last month to now is just there's no time. Like I came back. Remember when I told you guys I was planning to stay out here. If I stayed out here, it would be all right. But I had to go home because a little cut on my head. They suspended me for 30 days, so it didn't make sense staying here. So I went back home. As soon as I touched base in the UK, it was like, oh, all right, cool. Can't be arsed now. But then I had to still maintain the weight because I could get called any time. Then I got the call. I had to quarantine for like 2 weeks. And then they're telling you to stay ready, but you're quarantined at home for 2 weeks. You can't go out. So how'd you stay ready? This is where I have to be mentally strong, doing my stuff at home. And then I think it was the last week of my quarantine, I got a call saying, you got to fight now in like 2 weeks against Kevin Holland. So now I had like basically 2 weeks to prep. I don't even call it prep. I don't know how it is in America now, but things ain't going that great in the UK. So I got no set schedule. So I literally wake up, call my cousin, call my coach. So what are we doing today? Okay, we're going here to spar. We're going here to train. We're going here to jog. I'm going to go on a bike ride. I'm going to go see my conditioning coach. I've got no time to prep. So when you think about it, the prepping time I had was 2 weeks. And back to your question, yeah, it's been mentally hard. I'm still dealing with it now. And the thing is that I've got to travel, which makes it even harder as well. So the process starts from me packing my bags. You know what I mean? Like the mindset starts from me packing my bag. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't want to keep talking about it. It's crazy, but yeah, the mentality's not easy.
Thanks for your time, Darren, and best of luck to you for this fight.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Hey, Darren, thanks for taking the time. First question with Kevin Holland. What did you think about him as an opponent, and have you been impressed by what you've seen out of him in the UFC?
Yeah, he's a fun guy, man. He's a fun fighter. That's what people like to see. Have fun. You know, he's on the same mindset I am. Just go in there, make money. Make money for your family. Put on a show. It's what we love doing. Why are you going there proper serious? That's why people can't take him. People have a lot to say about him. He says this, he says that. The guy's just having fun. Why can't we not have fun? We love doing what we're doing. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, he's entertaining. I'm entertaining, and there's a reason why they put us together. Just go and have fun. I think we both come off a win. Both got bonus. Both got similar mentality. Both entertaining. There you go. You got it there. So.
Let me ask, one thing Kevin does in his fights is he likes to talk a lot during his fights. Talk to his opponents, talk to the crowd. He'll talk to Dana. Is that a weird thing? Like, is there a way to prepare for that? Because not everyone does that, and it can throw you off when your opponent's just like randomly talking to you during a fight.
I talk back. We have a conversation. It's not a problem. How you doing? Okay, nice right hand. No, do it again. Like, I'll do it in training. And I don't know about him, but I don't do it to throw you off. I'm just doing like, you know what I mean? Bang. Oh, I caught you. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, nothing wrong with it. People think it's to throw you off. It's just what he likes to do. I like doing it as well. So if you got me in a certain position, I got him in a certain position, yeah, and he's probably slapping me or talking, but hey, have my back as well. How about we both take a picture and look at Dana and have a smile? Do you know what I mean? It's not a problem. So it is what it is, man. Like the guy does what he has to do. I do what I have to do. Just fight, man. Just fight. enjoy it. It's entertaining, man. I know it gets a lot of people, but I don't know if you guys know me in it, but I'm a bit of a joker as well. I know you just put in them in UFC as a fighter, but outside of MMA, I'm a family man. I like to have fun, jokes, I dance, I make jokes, da 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 da. So them things there ain't gonna really affect me. Do you know what I mean? If anything, I'll feed off it. The reason he does that and it affects people because they're just too serious. Well, what are you so serious for? You know what I mean? Go have fun, like, enjoy, relax. Because it don't make sense. You're being very serious, but then at the end you want to go and shake hands and take pictures. Like where I'm from, like if you're serious, stay serious. Like keep the same energy. Don't be serious. I mean, start taking pictures in the green room and that. Do you know what I mean? So just have fun.
So what you're saying is we might get our first ever mid-fight selfie, is what you're saying in this fight?
Maybe, man. You know, might be in the clinch. Hey, look, head together and that. You know what I mean? Just enjoy it, man. Trust me. Like I said to the previous interview, like I just don't care no more, and I know he don't care as well. He's just about getting the money up and enjoying, man. You win, you go again. I tell people as well, it's not that deep. Use the time now. We're in this pandemic, man. You know what I mean? No one's really fighting like we are. Normally, we fight, yeah, you get like a 4 or 5 month break. We're getting to fight regularly. You know what I mean? Like every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks. Enjoy it. Go fight. Relax. Bam, you win. Go again. You lose. Go again. Smile. Go again. You're serious. Go again. Just keep going because when things go back to normal, don't know when, but when they go back to normal, we ain't fighting again. I don't know how it is for the American, but in the UK, I'm not fighting that unless it's like every 4 or 5 months. So I'm trying to rack it in now. Do you know what I mean? So like I said, I wouldn't do it this close like I did this one because it's my body just. But I'm trying to go again maybe end of November, early December. If not, we go again January, and I'm gonna keep going while this pandemic's on, racking it in, getting the money up. But when the next wave comes and we can't travel, you got to ask yourself a question: did you make enough money? Because I don't know about other fight, but I don't work. I don't work. My family man, missus don't work. I've got 2 kids. I need to make money. Right now, it's not about rankings and crap like that for me, man. Win, lose, draw. It's about fighting, having fun, making my money. So.
I love it. And last question, Darren. Obviously, your focus is solely on your fight, but I got to ask, there's a big main event on this card, Tyron Woodley against Colby Covington. Can I get your pick or prediction how you see that one playing out?
Oh, you're trying to make me snitch, is what we call it in the UK. You're trying to make me grass. Oh, how you gonna do this on camera? Look, I want Woodley to win. Yeah, but Colby's got it's a work rate. It's a work rate. How you making me snitch on camera? You're a bad man. You are very, very bad man. But yeah, Colby's guy, man. Like he can fight. He can. I gotta be like, if you want an honest opinion, like Colby's work rate is mad. And we've seen it so many times. Yeah, work rate plays a part. In MMA, you can be one puncher, this and that. But if you can keep going and pushing your opponent and breaking your opponent, which is what he does, it's gonna be a problem. He does it on the feet. He does it in the grappling. He does it on the ground. So I want to say to you, yeah, that I want Woodley to win, but I think Kobe might edge it. That's what you're getting from me, man.
Thank you, Darren.
We'll take our final question from Stephen Morocco with Vox Media.
Yeah, Darren, what you were talking about going through between these fights sounds absolutely horrible. What do you plan to do afterward to sort of get your mind right?
Have a break, man. I need a break, man. Like I said, if I stayed out here, it wouldn't be a problem because I know I'll fight maybe like 2 weeks after. So I know I'll be out here, UFC look after me, keep the weight down, blah, blah, blah. Once you touch soil back home, it's draining. We're flying and we got to fly back here, get the weight down. It's hard work. So I think after this one, I'll like a break. Like I said, I'm not going to promise nothing. I'm looking at maybe again, end of November, beginning of December. But it's just how my body keeps up. I don't know how this fight's going to go. Doing 2 back-to-back weight cuts could be a dangerous thing, what I'm doing. Who knows? But I'm doing it for a reason. Do you know what I mean? I'm doing it because I love the sport. I'm doing it to entertain the fans. I'm doing it for my family. So it is what it is. But at the same time, you got to think about your health. I don't know how Kevin's doing it, but I don't know where he cuts from. But I cut from a big weight. I went back to the UK, and I was like, I went back up to like 97 straight away, bang. And then, like I said, they had to tell me to stay ready. But how can I stay ready if I'm quarantining? I can't go nowhere. So we're struggling. We're struggling at home. Do you know what I mean? Like, cut certain foods. missus and kids eating popcorn, ice cream, and you're just sitting there like grumpy, like you can't have it because you've got to stay ready. So yeah, back to your question. I think I'm gonna have a little break after this, man. I need it. If I walk near the weight, it's not a problem, but I don't walk nowhere near 84. Don't be fooled right now. I'm looking skinny because I'm cutting weight, but I am big. So I need a break, man. I love my food as well. So
What do you walk at?
normally, how long are we talking though? Would I walk out when I'm not fighting for a long time?
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
100 easy. 100 easy.
100 kilos.
Yeah, easy, man. That's on my legs. I carry a lot of weight in my legs. You know what I mean? All the rice and peas and jerk chicken, the hard food and Caribbean food. You know how it is. You know what I mean? So
All right, man. Well, best of luck. Thanks a lot.
yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Darren. You're all set.
Cheers, thank you.
We are now joined by UFC strawweight Randa Markos. Randa, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
First question will go to Gabriel Gonzalez with Cage Side Press.
Hi, Randa. This is your second fight of the pandemic after the roller coaster of the last one in May. What is the feeling like now, where I'm assuming everything is a little more organized and less of a surprise?
I'm a little more confident now. When I was my last fight, the coronavirus stuff had just started and everything was kind of like up in the air and nobody knew what was going on, and it's like we might fight, we might not fight, and everything was just craziness. And so now, since we've had so many fights since then, I feel more confident and more like stress-free going into this fight. I feel like everything's a little more under control.
After watching it back, what did you take from the fight with Amanda Ribas when you went back to work in the gym?
That fight, I didn't feel myself, and it sucked. I'm really upset with myself for my performance in that fight. She's a tough opponent. She's a very tough opponent. I guess like she had a faster pace. She was more in my face, So I took that into consideration going to this next fight. I still believe in my skills and everything. I just need to be pushing forward more and push forward more.
When you have an opponent like Mackenzie Dern, she's so known for her Brazilian Jiu-jitsu, obviously. Is there temptation to want to grapple with her just to prove a point for yourself?
Absolutely not. I like to be smart and when I find somebody who's got a strength somewhere, I like to take that away from them and take it to my game and what I'm strong at. So I'm not gonna. If it goes to the ground, I'm no stranger to the ground. I've been doing this for a very, very long time. So I wouldn't be shocked and like not want to take it there. If it goes there, I'm ready for it. But I'm not gonna purposely try to go to the ground.
Do you feel like she's evolved as a fighter since she's been in the UFC?
Definitely, she's evolved as a fighter. I mean, you can't not evolve when you're put in with the best women in the world and have to fight and figure it out. So she's definitely evolved. I think, I'm going to get a better version of Mackenzie Dern for this fight, and I'm prepared for it.
My final question, how does this fight play out in your mind when you've thought about it?
You can't be 100% with what you might see or whatever, but I think it might go 3 rounds, might go to a decision, but you never know what can happen. It's the UFC, so we'll see.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Damon Martin with MMA Fighting. Your line is open.
Hey, Randa, let me ask first off with Mackenzie Dern, have you been impressed by what you've seen out of her so far in her UFC career? She's obviously, I think, 3-1. She's had some good wins. She had a tough fight with Amanda, opponent obviously you're familiar with. What have you thought of her fight so far?
Technique wise, like I don't think she's anything special. On the ground, obviously she's been doing that a lot longer than most of us, and so I definitely respect her on the ground. But I think the thing I'm most impressed with is her ability to take a punch and keep coming at you, and that's one thing I'm going to be looking at is, or one thing that we've been working on is like the fact that she can get hit and keep coming forward. So that's one thing I'm impressed with.
Well, of course, talking about Mackenzie, immediately we go to the jiu-jitsu. I know she's worked a lot on her striking. She started working with Jason Perillo for this camp. She showed it in the Ribas fight. She does have hands. I mean, obviously she lost that fight, but she didn't get knocked out. She had a strong fight there. But when you face an opponent with such a strong skill set in one area, on paper, you kind of got to imagine at some point she's going to try to take it down. She's going to try to go in that jiu-jitsu realm. Does that make it easier or harder when you face an opponent who is, so strong in that one area where you kind of imagine that's where they want to fight?
I find it easier to fight people who have a strength in one particular place because your camp becomes simpler and not so complex. Like fighting somebody like Amanda Ribas, it's like, okay, we got to be ready for everywhere. And for somebody like, Carla Esparza, we know she's going to take you to the ground. So we got to just focus on don't let her take you to the ground. And I think this is the same thing kind of with that fight. Going into the fight with Mackenzie Dern is she's going to want to take it to the ground. I'm sure she thinks she's better there than most of us. So, and she's done it in most of her fights where she's wanted to take the fight to the ground, and coming off a submission in her last fight, we're expecting her to want to take it to the ground, but I'm not undermining her hands or her skills everywhere else. But I find it a lot easier when someone comes in with one strength somewhere in particular.
When you came off The Ultimate Fighter, you kind of grew up in the UFC in a way. You've had almost all of your fights in the UFC. You have a lot of experience at this point against a lot of top-notch competition. Mackenzie's still very young in her career. She's still learning, and I don't know from the Ribas fight to the Cyphers fight, did we learn that much more about her? How much does experience play a part that you have had to face adversity, that you have had to fight out of tough positions and fight out of things when things don't go right, whereas we haven't seen that much from her just because she is so young in her career?
I think that's a huge benefit that I have coming into this fight. I do have a lot of experience. I fought most of the girls in top 10, so I fought some of the best, so and most of the best. So I have that coming into this fight, and the ups and downs and all of the all of the things I've learned through every single fight. I always learn something. I always take something from every single fight. So yeah, that's definitely a huge benefit going into this fight. And not having so many fights can either be a good thing or a bad thing, because when you start overthinking, having too many fights, overthinking kind of plays against you. And when you're new and fresh, it could help you in a way. So you can't base somebody's skill off of that. A lot of things are mental, and that's what I learned along the way.
And last question, of course, Randa, the focus is your fight. I don't want to take away from that, but a big main event on this card, Colby Covington against Tyron Woodley. I got to ask your opinion or pick, prediction. How do you see that one playing out?
I think it's a great great fight, and I'm gonna have to go with Colby Covington this fight. I think it's not gonna go the distance, but yeah, sorry to Tyron Woodley, but I'm thinking that Colby Covington is gonna win this fight.
Thank you, Randa.
No problem.
We'll go next to Jeffrey Harris with 411 Mania MMA.
Good afternoon, Randa. Thanks for joining us today.
No problem.
We are coming up on the 6th anniversary of your UFC debut, so that's over half a decade. So when you first came into the UFC, women's MMA was still fairly new to the promotion. So can you speak at all about, what this journey has been like for you, becoming a UFC fighter, a veteran, and now you're fighting on ESPN, and what that experience is like from your perspective?
I think my experience with being with the UFC and being here for so long and being able to have the opportunity to fight like most of the girls, most of the top girls, it's been an honor and it's been amazing. But I feel like I have so much more to prove, and I have so much more to do and so much more to accomplish. And it's been great and we've evolved so much. I think we have one of the toughest divisions, if not the toughest divisions in the UFC right now, with the strawweights. And it's come a long way and we've proven.
Also, Randa. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry, my connection bugged out there for a second. Also, Randa, do you have any thoughts on the whole decision matter and the judging? Because most of your losses in the UFC are by decision. Is that something you're looking to avoid here with Mackenzie Dern? Just because, you don't want a bad judge's decision here.
No, obviously I've been in that situation many times and it sucks, especially when you feel that you've won and if your opponent says they think they lost, you know what I mean? It sucks, but you gotta always remember you gotta give it everything you have and whatever happens at the end, it's not in your hands. And that's one thing I've learned along the way. But yeah, I never go in there wanting a decision. I never go in there wanting a decision, but it happens. These girls are tough and we've both worked very, very hard to be there. And, we're not going to just, if it happens, it happens. But I'm never looking for a decision.
Last year, you fought in defeated Angela Hill, who last week headlined a UFC card against Michelle Watterson. Did you see that fight? And what did you think of the judge's decision for that fight? And did you think Angela Hill did enough to win, or did you agree with the decision?
That was another fight that I had where, a person comes in there with one kind of strength and you take away that strength from them and you can beat them. And that was one thing that I was focused on. And watching her fight go the distance, 5 full rounds where I took it, in the first round and I ended it. It really made me realize, I'm always learning about myself and I kind of don't give myself enough credit. Watching that fight, I realized man, I'm freaking tough. I ended that fight in the first round and they went the distance. So, but it was an awesome fight. Both girls are tough as nails and both, I feel that was a great matchup too. And it's all about matchups. That was a great matchup. They both kept it standing. They both, they both their strengths are obviously stand up and it is a great fight.
One thing I love about MMA, I think this is a great sport for upsets and for underdogs. Would you say you're the underdog going in against Mackenzie Dern? And do you think that gives a good platform for you for this fight?
Yeah, going in there as an underdog is not something new to me. I'm almost always the underdog, but it just gives me no pressure. And I'm not looking at this fight like that. I'm just looking at this fight like I lost my last one. I'm really pissed off on myself, and this is the opportunity for me to prove to myself that that fight doesn't define me. And I'm just gonna go in there and have fun and do what I've been training really hard for, and whatever happens, happens.
Thanks for your time, Randa, and best of luck for this matchup.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Mike Bond with USA Today. Your line is open.
In this situation, do you just kind of feel comfortable here and knowing that every time you've been in the spot, you've been able to get back on track?
Yeah, that's one thing. I don't really play it that way in my head. It's just it just happens that way, I guess. where it's like when I have a loss, I kind of like brings me back to stop overthinking, start focusing on what you're good at, and go in there and be the best at what you're good at. And that's one thing I'm taking away from my last fight is like, yeah, that sucks. Stop thinking. And I think overthinking is one of my biggest downfalls. And whenever I have a loss, it kind of like brings me back to normal and like, no, you know, you got this, you can do it.
What's the mindset on the flip side of that when you get a win? Because we haven't seen you put two together in the UFC yet either.
I think coming off a win, I think like I want to keep it that way, you know, like I just put so much pressure on myself. I start, you know, overthinking and trying to do better than I did before and just trying to work hard, but overthinking and just, I don't know how to like fix that. I'm trying my best. I think having more faith in what I'm good at and just, yeah, like just believing in my skills and not having to overdo it, just have fun. It's something I've lost, I feel, along the way, and I just need to find it again.
Awesome, Randa. Thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Randa. You're all set to go.
Oh, yeah, awesome.
We are now joined by number 12 ranked UFC light heavyweight Ryan Spann. Ryan, thank you very much for joining us today.
No problem.
First question goes to Gabriel Gonzalez with Cape Side Press.
Hello, Ryan.
Hello.
So you've officially passed your 2-year anniversary in the UFC, still undefeated in the company. How you describe the ride so far?
I don't even think much about it, man. I just keep going, keep looking forward. I didn't even realize it's been 2 years.
Well, congratulations all the same.
Thank you.
You're up against a guy with the style of Johnny Walker. What's the most difficult part of preparing for a guy who's so unorthodox like that?
I guess the unpredictability, if that's a word. I think I just made that up. I don't know. I'm cutting, so I can do that right now. The fact that you can't really predict what he's gonna do, because he more than likely probably don't know what he's gonna do until it just bang happens. So that, not being predictable.
Do you bring in guys specifically? He's a very tall guy for the weight class. Do you bring in new people to mimic him, or what do you do with that?
I don't need to, man. I've been training with Kennedy and Zichiku for 3 or 4 years now, so I think I got his name right. Yes.
I hear you. Do you expect him to fight a little differently because he's lost 2 straight? Obviously, like any fighter, he definitely doesn't want to be down 0-3.
I mean, I would assume so. He's making moves around, going to different camps and all of that. So, I mean, I would think maybe. I don't really know. I just execute what I'm gonna do, and it doesn't really matter.
Final question for me. For yourself, what do you most want to show in this fight?
That I don't know. I don't even think about it. I just want to win. He's ahead of me. He got the number that's better than mine, and I just want that number, a better number. So I really don't think about what I really want to show and whatnot. Just get the job done.
Thank you, Ryan. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll go next to Damon Martin with MMA Fighting. Your line is open.
Hey, Ryan, obviously you got a win in your last fight, but it was a battle, and it was kind of the first time you had to dig deep in the UFC. I know
it wasn't much of a battle, man. I don't mean to cut you off, but yeah, it was more. He had 1 good minute and 15.
Well, what do you take, like, when you have that, where you have that 1 minute of maybe a bit of a scare there? Like, what do you take away from that? Do you just kind of move on and just not think about it, or do you learn something from that kind of moment?
You kind of eventually get to the point where you move on, but in all things, you want to grow and become better either way. But like, as far as the scare, it wasn't much of it. I was fine the entire time. It wasn't like I was going to get finished. It was like I was there thinking, and I was coherent and whatnot. It just looked bad. I give him that, but it wasn't much of a scare. I knew how much time I had.
Yeah, you mentioned the ranking part of Johnny Walker has that number, and that's what's most important to you. We're kind of at a restart in a little bit of a way of the light heavyweight division. John Jones is gone. We're going to crown a new champion very soon. What do you think about the light heavyweight division right now? Is it kind of fun? Not that obviously John Jones, amazing, greatest of all time, but we are kind of at a point now where we're going to kind of have a reshuffling of the deck.
I don't think much about the division. Like, as far as John, it was more, I was looking more towards the lineage of the title being broken. Other than that, man, I don't care. I don't know. Whatever happens. All I know is I do my job this weekend, and I become maybe two fights away from a title fight.
Let me ask, because Johnny came into the UFC, had several big wins in a row, and immediately people are talking about him fighting John Jones, and he's the next big thing, and he's this and he's that, and he loses 2 fights in a row, and now everyone's suddenly saying, "Oh, he was never that good. He's a bum." It's the weirdest thing about hype in this sport. What do you think of Johnny Walker? Is he more the guy we saw in his first couple of fights, where he was tearing through people in 15 seconds, or are we seeing more reality now that he's kind of facing different competition? Like, where do you feel like Johnny sits in terms of talent?
I don't know, man. It's not my concern. I just want to beat him, finish him.
And last thing,
I don't know. I'm not going to give my opinion on that one, but yeah, do my job.
And last thing I've been asking everybody, obviously big fight this weekend, beyond your fight, main event, Colby Covington, Tyron Woodley. Do you have a prediction? Do you see how that one's playing out in your mind?
I don't know. Tyron looks good. Just passed him in the hallway. He looks good. And I'm a fan of Tyron, so maybe that's probably, if I had to pick, that's what I'll go with. But I don't think past anything, like really get my fight done and leave.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ryan. You're all set.
Awesome. Thank you.
We are now joined by UFC middleweight Gerald Meerschaert. Gerald, thank you very much for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
First question goes to Danny Segura with MMA Junkie. Your line is open.
Hey, Gerald, how's it going? First of all, you had tested positive for COVID, and that had, taken you out from a couple bouts. How are you feeling now, and how was your experience dealing with the virus?
I feel great now. It's like nothing ever happened. I was very, very fortunate in that for me, I had a stuffy nose for like 2 days. That was the extent of it. I didn't lose taste or smell or anything like that. I didn't have a fever. So I just happened to be, I don't know how rare or common it is, but for me, it was just my case that I was fine.
Yeah. And you're taking on someone that, is sort of taking the MMA world by storm, and a lot of people are building a lot of hype behind this guy. And, you've spoken in many interviews how you kind of felt a little bit disrespected that they're already talking about a future opponent beyond this fight. Now that, the bout's a lot closer, how do you feel? Do you still feel that way? Or has that sort of feeling dialed down and you're more focused on the bout itself?
I'm focused on the bout, but I still feel that, right? Because it's one thing if you want to name names for after, because guys have done that before, or even try to say, I want to fight, really often and try to say like, oh, if I could get another one in 2 months, but he's naming names and dates and trying to like literally set up his next few fights. So that kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, for sure. By the way, have you gotten a chance to see him throughout fight week?
Yeah, we passed each other in the hallway earlier today, and I mean, it was pretty quick. He tried to I think he was trying to talk trash to me. I think he just kept saying like, don't talk too much. And I was kind of like, yeah, okay. Like, we're fighting Saturday, so we're not going to do anything now because I want to make money. I don't know what his deal is. And not only that, but I don't think it's like a very cool thing to like flex when you got, a bunch of your friends with you and stuff. Like I had one guy with me, he had a bunch of guys with him, but it's like, dude, like I get it. You don't have to like me, I don't have to like you, but let's just save it for the cage.
Right. And we've seen a lot of fighters, compete in 2 weight classes, right? Usually lightweight and welterweight, maybe light heavyweight and heavyweight, and different weight classes like that. But not often do we see a guy that goes back and forth between welterweight and middleweight. Now that you got to see him, through fight week, what do you make of his size? Like, do you see him as a middleweight?
He's got the height of most middleweights, but he's really skinny. Like he is not that thick of a guy. So if nothing else, I don't understand how and I'm sure he believes it, how he believes that he's going to put his hands on me and be able to do anything. Like he doesn't look big enough, but he's probably pretty fast because he's going to be lighter. His technique isn't bad at all, but you still got to have some kind of power to do anything, especially in grappling. And I'm a pretty strong grappler myself, so I don't think this is the weight class for him.
Right. That's what I was going to ask you. Like usually in boxing and striking sports, maybe weight might not be as important, but grappling obviously is something that's very important. We know he's a grappler. We know you have very serious grappling skills as well. Do you kind of look at the size advantage that you have and kind of, does it give you a little bit of confidence?
Oh yeah, it gives me a little bit of confidence, but even besides all that, I'm confident in everything. I have way more experience. I have way more options as to how I can finish the fight, and I think he likes to talk about me talking a lot. Really, I haven't said anything bad about him. He's just angry for no reason. But for me, it's like, dude, you're looking past me. Like you're the one that needs to put some respect on my name and acknowledge when you're fighting a guy that has 40 plus fights. Might be more than a handful.
For sure. And lastly, I mean, there's no doubt that he's looked impressive in his UFC run, but one fight was against a newcomer. The other guy had a losing record in the UFC. You're obviously a veteran. You've been around for the game a long time. You fought some of the best at 185. Do you feel like perhaps he's being a little bit too overhyped? Do you think like maybe those wins that he had, that impressive sort of start that he's had in the UFC is a little deceiving, given the fact that, the quality of his opponents?
Oh, look, I've said it in many, many interviews. Do I think he's overhyped? For sure. However, you got a guy that, looks like another guy that's a champion, kind of talks like him and fights like him. And I think he's probably got the record for like quickest turnaround, 2 victories in the UFC, right? So why wouldn't you push that guy, especially right now? Like if I'm Dana White in the UFC, I'm doing the exact same thing. So I don't, blame him for that or anything. But what I do take issue with again is trying to put names and dates on paper before you have your first fight. So like for him trying to set all this other stuff up and he's talking about other people, talking about the Diaz brothers, I'm only focused on him. So I think that's going to be the real issue that I have with him.
For sure. All right, man. Well, best of luck this weekend. Looking forward to the fight.
Thanks.
We'll go next to Pablo Santamaria with Noti MMA Ecuador.
Hi, Jared. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How are you?
Good. How you doing, man?
Everything's okay. Thanks for asking. The first thing I want to ask you is if you feel kind of disrespect because of him facing Demian Maia in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I took that as disrespectful. Yeah, I've said that in many interviews. I'm going to try to make him pay for that on September 19th.
And who do you blame of that, Khamzat or the UFC?
Well, I don't blame anybody. I think, they're trying to push a guy that's an undefeated young prospect. They want to get the most out of him. And I've said it before, I do the same thing, but, he just happened to stumble across the wrong guy to do that with.
I get it. You already fought under these circumstances on UFC 250. There was any different on this training camp?
It wasn't that much different from my other fights that were, just before this. So for me, I'm used to it.
Okay, and what's your prediction for the fight?
Well, I'd like to submit him and get the new record, but who knows? I just know I'm going to get a finish.
Okay, thank you very much, Gerald, and good luck on Saturday.
We'll go next to Gabriel Gonzalez with Cageside Press.
Hey, Gerald. I saw your interview with ESPN and you said a line that stuck with me. You said you're never going to be the blue chip prospect, but you can be the miracle on ice. You can be Cinderella Man. When did you reach that point in your mindset? Because I think a lot of people would just be carrying not the chip, but the whole mountain on their shoulder with the circumstances of this fight.
I mean, I pretty much had that mindset for a while now, right? Because it's been a long, long time since I've had, not that many losses. We're talking probably, I think 2010. I think I had 4 losses at that point. Maybe you could have considered me a prospect, but since then, I usually it goes my way, but sometimes it doesn't. When you fight that much, it happens. So I've always understood that, for me, it's going to be if I work hard enough and I really want it enough, people aren't going to look at me and expect me to be the next big thing. I got to go out there and prove it.
How do you tune out a lot of the emotion? Because, it's very easy to get in there. You really just want to, I don't want to say get reckless, but you want to go out there and maybe just swing for the fences rather than execute a game plan just to do the damage because, they're double booking him and everything. How do you not let yourself fall into that?
Experience. Age doesn't hurt either. Like I'm not old, but I'm not like a super young man either. And I've fought like 45 times, man. If I can't figure out how to keep my emotions in check now, it's not going to happen.
It's no secret he's going to be looking to get this to the ground. How did you prepare for that? Do you bring in guys to prepare for him? What do you do?
I mean, you always want to train to give a look of the guy that you're fighting, but remember, he's got to go where I'm most dangerous. I got 23 submission wins. I'm tied for the most submissions in the UFC. So if he wants to take me down and make the fight as hard as he possibly can for himself, I'm all about that.
There's a lot of attention on him, but for yourself, what do you most want to show in this fight?
I don't really care what I show. I just want to win.
Got it. Thank you, Gerald.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Damon Martin with MMA Fighting. Your line is open.
Hey, Gerald, this is obviously a loaded question, but I'm going to ask it anyways, which is, have you been impressed by what you've seen out of Khamzat in terms of the UFC, or how much video you've seen on him leading into this fight? Have you been impressed by what you've seen?
I mean, he's not bad, right? Like he wins all his fights. They're pretty quick. It's kind of hard to tell with someone who's that new because they don't give him any sort of resistance, right? All of his fights, he's looked great, but it's easy to look great against guys that either aren't good at what you do or that are way smaller than you and aren't good at what you do. You know what I mean? So most of his fights that I've seen, he's usually the bigger man. His one UFC fight, he did move up. He fought a guy who's, he's a slugger and, not much of a ground guy. So he had a big advantage there. So I wouldn't say he's impressive, but it's not like he's not a good fighter. And I expect him to be a good fighter.
And, when you look at the matchup, on paper, he's the young guy, the undefeated guy, but he hasn't been tested. As you mentioned, most of his fights have kind of been blowouts. You've been to those wars. You've seen that. You understand what it's like to go through a loss and come back from that and get a big win. How much does that play a factor in this fight if he does get in those deep waters where he goes in the second round or the third round, or he goes for a submission, doesn't get it, or he starts gassing himself out with punches? Like, these are all things we really haven't seen from him yet.
Right. I think it helps a lot. I mean, experience is going to play a big role. And I've been in situations where I've tried to go for stuff and it doesn't work, or I, lose part of a fight and then I come back. He's never had to handle that mentally. And as much as he can prepare himself for it, it's different when you're in there.
You mentioned it earlier, the little fight week, I won't say altercation, but like the brush show. Like when you have that kind of experience, like the mental warfare side of things, are you able to just kind of laugh that off? Do you just kind of like shake your head and say, why are we doing this on fight week? Because we've seen that a million times, and there are real head games. We've seen some guys absolutely get affected by it.
Yeah, I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't think I've actually said anything like bad about him. So I don't know why he was so upset, or if he thinks that makes him look like a tough guy or whatever. But again, it's water off my back. I don't really care what he's going to say, because we have a contract in place that says on Saturday night they're going to lock that cage door and we get to figure it out ourselves.
And last question, Gerald. I know this is not to do with your fight, and I know you're a little biased in this question. The main event this weekend, Tyron Woodley against Colby Covington. Tyron's a training partner of yours, so I'm not going to ask you to pick against him, but can you kind of give us an idea? I know he wasn't in camp with you guys for this fight, but kind of give me an idea what you expect out of this fight, knowing Tyron like you do.
I expect Colby to be left in the bloody pile in the middle of the cage. That's what I expect.
Thanks, Gerald.
Thank you.
We'll take our final question from Jeffrey Harris with 411 Mania MMA.
Hello, Gerald. Good afternoon. Thank you for the time.
What's up?
So this quarantine period is nutty enough as it is, but I'm just curious, what's it like to be training and fighting during a time like this, during this whole sort of COVID era? Does it give you something to focus on?
More annoying.
Okay.
Well,
But is it a good distraction to be fighting at a time like this? I'm just curious from your perspective.
I mean, I don't really look at it as a distraction necessarily. And I mean, it's affecting everybody differently, right? I live in a decently populated area, but I'm not like in New York or something where it got hit really hard. So for me, luckily, it hasn't affected me and my family too much. And I mean, outside of the normal regulations that everyone's following, there's been like, we had to shut down the gym for a little bit, but it hasn't been much of a difference for me.
I don't know if you've seen the betting odds for this fight, but DraftKings has you at plus 360 and Khamzat at minus 500. Do you think that maybe puts more pressure on him and less on you for this fight?
He probably doesn't gamble or understand what that is, so I doubt it. We've signed a contract. We know what numbers we're getting, to show up and win. So that doesn't really affect anything. Like, we all already know he's the big favorite. So I doubt that has any effect on him. They probably groomed him up to this point to feel like he's unstoppable, like he should be that guy. So, if anything else, it's just going to make me laugh harder when all these bookies figure out that they were way off on those numbers.
So I think this is your third fight this year, right? Would you want to make it a fourth time this year? Do you want to stay active for 2020?
I mean, we'll see what happens after this fight. I'm not going to overlook anyone like my opponent. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to fight my hardest. And if I'm still healthy and hungry and I want to do it, then I'm all for it. If not, we're getting close to the end. I could probably sneak another one in December if everything goes according to plan. But, who knows? We'll have to figure that out after the 19th.
Thank you, Gerald, and good luck on this matchup.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you very much, Gerald. You're all set. We are now joined by UFC welterweight Nico Price. Nico, thank you very much for joining us today.
I'll be good. It's
Just look here.
all right.
I ain't gonna do anything else but look here and talk.
Okay, we'll take our first question from Ezekiel Bergonzi with Somos MMA.
Okay.
Hey Nico, how are you?
Good. How you doing, sir?
Fine, thank you. So, how it was this training camp?
Oh, it was great. I got so much work in. I had plenty of my striking. I had a lot of my wrestling, jiu-jitsu. Everything was going good. Sorry if it looks like I'm shivering. I'm freezing over here.
Here is winter too, here in Argentina, so I know how you feel.
It's cold over there, yeah, for sure.
It's
I'm
cold.
Argentinian.
So-
friends. What's up?
So, you're facing Donald Cerrone, who is a very loved veteran in
Yes,
the
sir.
sport, but he's coming from a 4-loss streak. Does that give you more confidence, or you don't take account of that?
No, I don't take account of that because you never know what he did for this fight. You know, maybe this fight he got it back together and he's coming in here as a whole new man. So I'm taking it as I look through all his fights. I look at the best fights, the best Cerrone, and I'm taking it as that guy's coming to on Saturday.
What aspects of your game plan did you change from your fight with Vicente Luque to this one?
I didn't really change anything. I just added on, you know, I just added more of everything. I added more striking, I added more wrestling, more jiu-jitsu, more strength and conditioning. I needed to level up a little bit everywhere.
In an interview, the Donald Cerrone coach, Pedro Campbell, say that he is really focused on this fight and he's bringing his A game, you know. So, what do you think that Donald Cerrone brings that makes him a dangerous challenger for you?
Experience, you know? He's a veteran of the game. He's a maverick of the game. He's one of the first superstars of the sport, you know? Like he's been around since the WEC and stuff. I've been watching him my whole career. So I just gotta be ready for the best one. And I am. So he can be as ready as he wants, but no one's seen the best me yet. So I'm coming hard.
Thank you very much and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you, sir. God bless.
We'll go next to Gabriel Gonzalez with Cage Side Press.
Gabriel.
Hey Nico, how you doing, man?
How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Thank you. So look, everyone when they saw the booking, you versus Cowboy, everyone gets excited, right? For you, do you get that same level, or is it just another night of work for you?
Well, now it's another night of work for me, you know? When I first got the news, yeah, I was super excited too. But you know, I just had to bring it back down to letting myself know that he's another fighter. And when we get in there, I'm gonna hit him just like another man.
Now I know that look, your fights they tend to turn into a scrap, but when everyone's saying, "Man, I can't wait for you to throw down with the Cowboy," do you have to sometimes control yourself a bit in there and not just get lured into a brawl with him?
Of course, you always gotta control yourself in there. The second you don't control yourself, and you might catch him, but then you get taken down, or you might get caught. You know, like you gotta always be controlling, always paying attention in there. Be aware of everything.
Your last fight ended with the eye injury. Can you describe the recovery process from that one?
Yeah, I gotta sit down a lot. That's about it. You know, I still was I was chilling at the house, playing with the kids and stuff. I just didn't get poked in the eye, which actually happened more at my house than it did at the gym. It's
Just the
crazy.
kids and everything?
Yeah, the crazy kids. I got 5 of them, so I'm slipping punches all day.
Oh man, full house.
Yeah.
Talking about the last fight, what did you take from that one when you went back to the gym in terms of improving your game?
I just took that. Yeah, I can definitely go 15 minutes with ease. You know, that's no problem. I can go 15 minutes any day of the week. Because at the end of that fight, the only reason it stopped is because my eye. You know, I felt great. I ran over to him after the fight and I was like, "Yeah, dude," I was like, "Great fight, man." And he was like, "You too, great fight, man." And we were just congratulating each other. I gave him, of course, I had to give him dabs for the victory, of course. But you know, just I learned that I'm durable and I'm ready to do this.
Final question for me. How do you see this one playing out, Nico?
a victory. My hand will be raised, and it's going to be spectacularly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Hey Nico, since arriving in the UFC, you've kind of given this reputation of being an insanely exciting fighter. We know what we're getting when we get a Nico Price fight. We always talk about rankings and titles, and obviously those things are important, but what does it mean to you that you built this reputation that people want to see you fight, no matter who you're fighting, no matter where you're fighting? We know we're going to get a fight when we see Nico Price fight.
I built that reputation by just going in there and fighting, man. That's what you're supposed to do when you get in there, right? Like, I used to watch all the beginning Ultimate Fighters, and I always heard Dana saying, if you're planning on doing this, you better get in here and fight. Well, I planned on doing it, so I came in there and I just started fighting, man. Fight my butt off. I got a big heart, and I can take a lot of damage. I'm down for a brawl, but I don't like them, but I'm totally down for them.
Do you feel like in this particular matchup, we've seen Cowboy involved in some of those, but we've also seen him get, he's taken some punches over the years and things like that. I mean, do you feel like if you can draw him into your style of fight, that it might be tough for him to hang with you for 3 rounds, especially at welterweight, which is not typically his home weight class?
Well, yeah, he's normally a 55er, but he's done some work at welterweight too. I'm not overlooking him in any way. I'm not looking at him like he's a littler than me or anything. Like, he's a big dude. He's 6'2". I saw him over in my last fight versus Vicente. I was sitting next to him. I was like, yeah, he's totally welterweight size, But I'm not looking past anything. I'm just here, another name on the list, and I'm ready to get my dub.
And you're going in to get your win. There's going to be a lot of questions coming in about Cowboy coming off 4 straight losses. How does he bounce back, things like that. But do you have to be careful of a guy like that because he's kind of like a wounded dog right now?
Yeah, he can come at me as hard as he ever did this fight. And I'm ready for that. I'm ready for the best Cerrone to come. I didn't overlook him in any aspect of my camp. I took everything serious, nutrition, my training, everything. Like, I'm ready. I'm here. I'm a brick house. I'm ready to do this.
And last question, Nico. You guys are the co-main event, so obviously you're focused on your fight, but there is a big fight right after yours, the main event. I got to ask your opinion. Colby Covington, Tyron Woodley. Do you have a prediction how you see that one playing out?
Man, Tyron's he was a champion, dude. He's always been like top level in my book. And then Colby is too. Colby's good. Colby's really good. He's technical. He's conditioned. He's a beast. He trains at one of the schools that I go over and train at MMA Masters. So there's a lot of welterweights over there. He can get a lot of work from a lot of different styles. So I hate choosing on the fights, but I might have to go with Colby on this one. If Tyron can show up, it could go differently.
Have you worked with?
If he comes back angry, he could come in and level some things.
Have you worked with Colby much? I know you used to train at American Top Team where he trained and then Masters. Have you guys worked together at all?
No, I've not. I've never got to work with Colby.
Thanks, Nico.
No problem.
We'll go next to Pablo Santamaria with Noti MMA Ecuador.
Hi, Nico. How are you?
How you doing?
I want to ask you, you were coming from a loss against Vicente. It was a really close fight until the doctor stoppage. So what did you learn from that fight?
I just learned that I can definitely endure a strong, long fight and a lot of punches. So a lot of punches and kicks. So I know that I'm ready for this, and I learned a lot of experience doing that. Unlike in combat experience, it was awesome. I learned a lot during the Vicente fight.
I get it. So do you think Cowboy will be your toughest challenge yet?
Your next fight's always your toughest challenge.
Okay, you said that you want to end the fight in a spectacular way. So would you like to finish Cowboy with a head kick?
That would be cool. Yeah, that would be really sick. Kick the head kicker. That would be cool.
Would you like to send a message to your Ecuadorian fans?
What's up, everybody?
Thank you very much, Nico, and good luck.
Thank you, sir.
We'll go next to Jeffrey Harris with 411 Mania MMA.
Hi, Nico.
How
are you? Better than Custer. Thanks for asking.
Nice.
So I look at this fight on paper, I think stand up, action, kickboxing. But do you think Donald has an underrated ground game in submission game? And is that
no.
somewhere you feel you can hang with him and compete with him well?
I feel I can compete everywhere with him, honestly. I feel that his ground game is definitely, it's not overlooked by me, and I don't know who would overlook it. He's amazing. He has slick jiu-jitsu. He gets in there on those takedowns. He gets deep on his takedowns. Yeah, no, I definitely don't overlook his ground game in any way, and I don't overlook his striking in any way. But I do know that I have a strong striking game and a very strong grappling game, so I'm willing to put it up against him.
Have you talked to Jazzwares yet about getting you an action figure? Let's get an action figure done for you.
Dude, let's do it. Who do I talk to? You guys can put these abs on action figures? I'm just messing around. I'm not shredded.
Because Donald Cerrone got one, so I feel like you should get one too.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Whoever has to get me an action figure, contact me. I'm good. I'm ready to do it.
Thank you very much, and I can't wait to see this fight, Nico. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. You have a blessed day.
We'll go next to Danny Segura with MMA Junkie.
All right.
What's up, Nico? First of all, those glasses look pretty interesting. Can we get a look at them?
Can I show them? Oh man, I'm not getting in trouble for this, right?
Oh, all right. Never mind.
I don't think I can right now. Actually.
Yeah, I know. You're good. You're good.
No, they fell. Oh, they fell off the balcony. Nikes. Yeah.
Bummer. Real quick, obviously this is a big bout, big opportunity for you. What went through your head at the moment the opponent Donald Cerrone came, whatever it was, via email or call? What went through your head when you got his name?
That's what happened. I had 3 minutes of frozenness, and I just read it. I just kept reading it over and over, And I told my wife to come here, and I told her to read it to me. And then she realized what she was reading to me, and then she was like, "Really?" I was like, "You're reading it," And then I had to get ready to fight him, so I had to put all that behind me after that.
I mean, you faced some really good fighters throughout your UFC run, obviously. But would you say this is like the one that excites you the most? I mean, Donald Cerrone, he's been around for quite some time.
Totally, man. I like watch videos of him and try to do the things he does. I love that guy. He's a beast. Great style, great person, great fighter. Class act. He's never I don't think I've ever seen him sour. I learned my sportsmanship from someone like him.
Yeah. And Cerrone's obviously, been in some really big bouts. I mean, if you look at the last 4 opponents that he has, those are all big fights, man.
Dude, I know. Let me fight them too.
What do you think it says about you that the UFC's willing to give you a name? Not only that, but also coming off a defeat in a co-main event slot.
Yeah, like I said, I'm blessed. I have blessings upon blessings put upon me, and all I'm doing is I'm trying to capitalize on all these blessings that I get and show you guys that I'm worthy to be here. Show you guys that I'm not alone up here, even though I look like it. Yeah, God on my side.
Yeah. And you had many exciting bouts in the UFC, and recently, speaking with the media, Michel Pereira said that he was more interested in putting on exciting fights than winning. I wonder if that's the case with you.
No, I like winning. The exciting stuff just happens. I love fighting. I love getting my W. The W, it just. The reason I want the W is because it just helps me give another year towards my family. Every paycheck I bring in, because this is all I do. I don't have a side hustle. I don't have no side jobs. I don't have another company. I'm a UFC fighter, and this is how I make the money for my family. So I live fight to fight. So I have to capitalize on fight to fight, and there's no other options.
Yeah, and Cerrone's a veteran of the game. He's been fighting for a long time. When you were starting out, did you ever think you'd be facing names like that? And what's it like to be able to get to fight him, before he calls it quits? Because he's spoken about being in the end of his career here.
And that's what I was saying earlier. I was saying one of the other interviews. When I got when I first made it to UFC and I saw him come up to 170, I was like, there's a possibility that I'm gonna be able to get in there with him. Like I was like, wow, there's an opportunity for this to like happen in the future. And then now look, I'm here sitting behind this desk and I'm talking about the fight with him. So, it's just I'm doing things right because the blessings are still coming. So I'm trying to stay on the right path.
For sure. All right, man. Well, looking forward to the fight. Best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We'll go next to Cote Cruz with Fordwin Podcast.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
How you doing, man? Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you too. I'm over here just hanging out in Vegas.
Yeah, you look really positive, man. I was wondering because my man Danny just asked you about what does it mean for you to fight a guy like Cerrone. Like he kind of stole my question there, but it's okay. I mean, it's a great it's a great feeling seeing you so positive about it. What do you think the fight's gonna be like? Do you think it's gonna be like one of those fights where you can bang the guy in front of you, then hug him, and then bang him again? Is that the kind of fight you're hoping for, or is it gonna be a greedy fight?
When I'm in there fighting, dude, I'm in there to fight you. It's gonna be grid, but I'm not gonna be. I won't ever do like a cheap shot or nothing. Like if he tries to high five me or something, I'm not gonna try to punch him right when he reaches his hand out for a high five or something like that. Yeah, I'll high five him back, of course. Because I had that level of respect for him.
You were talking earlier about this being your only job. Of course, it's a standard, right? It's what everyone in the sports tries to reach, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Maybe I was wondering, you have the right personality to do something like streaming, like video games or something. That's a good side hustle for you.
Yeah, I could totally do something like that.
Do you like to play games? Do you have any favorites at the moment, or are you just?
I'm actually not good at video games because
you're not.
No, I do all my times on the mat, man. I'm in the gym, in the ring. I'm getting chased by 5 kids.
Yeah, that's
literally for the last 3 days before the fight. My son has been begging me to go fishing, and I have not been overtaken fishing because I just.
How old is your son? Excuse me. How old is your son?
I have 3. I have 5, 2, and 9 months.
Oh, so they're not really that much of aware of what you do for a living, right?
Oh no, they know exactly what I do.
Yeah. Are they excited about the cowboy? Do they know what it means to you?
My daughter saw how excited I got when she saw the fight, and she was like, "Is this a big fight?" I was like, "Yeah, it's a big fight."
How does that make you feel that your kids are so involved in this?
Hey, if my kids want to do this when they get older, it's their decision. I'll support it either way if they want to or if they don't. Even my daughters. I have 2 daughters, 8 and 7. So if they want to do it, let them do it. I'm gonna be your coach though.
Yeah, I can totally see you in the corner.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm a good cornerman. I've cornered hundreds of fights.
That's awesome, man. Well, best of luck on your fight. It was great talking to you. You bring a lot of positive energy, and I'm really excited about the fight. Best of luck, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, we'll go next to Augusto Niez-Gay with Somos MMA.
Oh, hello, Nico. Do you hear me?
Oh, hello. Yep, we hear you.
Oh, okay. Nico, how are you doing, first of all?
Good, great, wonderful, blessed.
Okay. Nico, you just said that you feel you can compete with Cowboy everywhere, but when do you think you have the advantage over him?
That's my secret. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I signed the contract. No, my advantage is, I don't know. I'm crazy. I'm crazy enough to go in there with him and be crazy with him. So.
Okay. Sounds good. You also have mentioned Cowboy's experience. How do you counteract that? I mean, is there any way to deal with that?
Yeah, make it something that he's never been through. or something he does not like. You know?
Okay. Yeah, sure. And well, you're going to face obviously maybe one of the most loved guys in the UFC. Does this makes any difference for you before the fight?
No, it doesn't make me feel different. I've got some funny messages though. You know, that's how I know Cowboy's really loved. He's got a lot of good fans.
What about those messages? What did they say?
You're gonna lose. Cowboys gonna beat you. I'm like, oh. At least they didn't cuss at me though. You know.
Okay, Nico, and my last one. This is obviously a really good matchup and a fun-friendly fight. I want to know, do you think this could be even better with a crowd in a big stadium? Would you like that?
Like I said, the crowd doesn't bother me. No fans don't bother me. I just like getting in there and letting it go, man. Just fighting people. It's really fun. And I like doing it to where I don't get in trouble for it, where I get paid for it. That's all. Makes it even more exciting.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Nico, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Nico. You're all set.
Sweet, thank you.
And just as a note, we will be joined next by Mackenzie Dern. We're now joined by number 15 UFC strawweight Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie, thank you very much for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Our first question will go to Gabriel Gonzalez with Cageside Press.
Okay.
Hey, Mackenzie, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very good, thank you.
Yeah.
So you had said that before that the UFC, you had reached a point where they were telling you, we'll call you, and you wanted to go back to being more active, where they were, they're kind of looking for you to fight all the time. This is a nice turnaround. Would you say you are finally back to that point?
Yeah, I mean, after my last fight with Hannah, on the adrenaline after the fight, I said like, man, I'm ready to fight. Put me back as soon as possible. And then they called me like, hey, we have Randa Markos for you in 2 weeks. I said like, and then after the adrenaline passed, I said, oh man, 2 weeks is really, really soon. I start to feel like kind of my hands sore from punching as hard as I could. And some of the elbows she had got me with. So I said, oh no, Randa's a tough girl. 2 weeks is kind of soon. Let's a little bit longer. And then they gave me like four months, I said like, man, 4 months is a long time, and then my manager said, no, I think it'll be better for you like to really train and evolve even more. And I mean, that's what managers are for, to help keep calm the athletes, and make the best decisions. So now I couldn't be more happier with having like a full camp, prepare myself, evolve. I felt like I evolved so much in these 4 months, but I started the camp 8 weeks. So 8 weeks training 3 times a day, like really hard, just so focused. And I'm really ready for this fight now.
I know that you've made the jump a little bit. You're working a lot with the team at RVCA, Jason Perillo, Chito Vera, Vanessa Demopoulos. How have they helped to grow your game?
Yeah, they helped me so much. I went to them halfway through the camp, so 4 weeks I'm with them. And just in the 4 weeks, everyone I met at the Ruka gym, you know, they all noticed a big difference in the 4 weeks. And people that know me from my first UFC fight, they said like, man, you look so much better. You look just like free. You look like you're so creative. You're so just starting to really show all your true potential. So the fact that I'm hearing this from like, you know, they're friends, you know, of course, but you know, they'll tell the truth, you know, they're not like, you know, sugarcoating anything, you know. I think for sure they know they're fighters too, you know, so no one wants to give like false, you know, false feelings, you know. They're really gonna tell me the truth. So the fact that these people that are seeing me train every day, giving me like new little details and new things to work on. Cheeto, you know, is kicking my butt all the time. It's so fun to see him doing like his crazy moves, and then I'm trying to do these crazy moves. It's like, man, this jiu-jitsu girl's doing all these new styles and new things. It's really fun. So I'm really grateful for everything that they taught me in these 4 weeks, and I'm excited for the future that I have with them. And for sure, I mean, every academy I've been to, every coach I've been to, I take something with me, and I'm grateful for them. So I'm just so glad to be kind of on this next phase of my career, and really what the future holds for me with Coach Perillo.
You know, you're known for being one of the most decorated jiu-jitsu players in mixed martial arts, but you've never gotten the submission of the year. You had a great knee bar this year, but do you feel like you have competition? Your teammate Vanessa had the reverse triangle. Ariane Lipsky had a good knee bar. Do you feel like this could be your year where you get that award finally?
Definitely. I definitely think so, you know. Just for me, it was a surprise. My last submission, the leg lock, was the first, you know, because man, it's something so common for us in jiu-jitsu. So when they told me that was the first in the woman, I said, man, okay, let me go and look at all my submissions that I know to do in jiu-jitsu that are like so common for us, because I'm gonna start letting them out this year, you know, for sure. That's why I definitely want to fight again this year if everything goes good on this fight, no injuries, nothing like that. Because I'm coming for that award, you know, the submission of the year. You know, I just want people like, I know they respect me for sure because my jiu-jitsu background, but I know for sure everyone says like, oh, but when you start throwing punches in there, their black belt becomes a brown belt, and then the brown belt becomes the purple belt, you know. So definitely want people to keep that respect for my ground game and really show why the UFC saw so much potential in me.
My final question, when you're so well known for jiu-jitsu, obviously, you know, the first thing, well, work on your striking so you could be more dangerous. How do you balance that? Because obviously you want to be better as a striker, but you still want your jiu-jitsu to be so sharp because that's where you're the biggest threat.
Yeah, it's a little hard, you know, because when I was competing, that always kept my jiu-jitsu sharp, you know. There's nothing sharper than competing at the highest level that there is. So since I've been out of the jiu-jitsu competitions, it's kind of a little bit hard to keep my jiu-jitsu so on point, you know, and everything, and just kind of keep evolving in jiu-jitsu. But I'm always like trying to be involved. My dad is always coming down to California and training with me, and there's nothing better than getting beat up by your dad. You know, it's what made me get my world titles, was getting beat up by my dad every day on the academy, you know, when I was back in Arizona. So to have my dad back home and he's competing until today, so he's always coming with like some new details and some new positions, and kind of just how jiu-jitsu is constantly evolving, and people are always constantly coming up with defenses and new moves and all these things. He's constantly like reminding me and showing me new things. So I love whenever he's in town with me, and just whenever I get the chance to, if I'm not in the big gloves, you know, whenever I get the chance to do like sparring or training with the small gloves, I'm always like trying to do my ground game, attack the legs, attack the omoplatas, the crucifix, all the omanari, all these types of things, you know. So that's what I love, and I'm always just trying to keep at that, you know.
Hey, thanks, Mackenzie. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll go next to Pablo Santamaria with Noti MMA Ecuador.
Hi, Mackenzie. How are you?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola. The first thing I want to ask you, as an Ecuadorian, how it's training with Chito? What did you learn something from him, or?
Oh yeah, for sure. Chito's, man, he's the guy. He's so great. You know, him, his family. He's pushing me. I did so many like sparrings with him. Of course, like was more me trying to touch him and get him. You know, he has such good movement. But even like from in the gym, working, he all the time he's telling me like my body shots. He's telling me all these things to get better. And then of course, like starting to train with him, we say like, okay, let's go watch his fights when I get home, you know. Then we start to watch his fights, and I'm seeing like now on the training, I'm doing like elbows like him, knees like him. So I'm really like have Cheeto as a good inspiration for me, and just to help push me, you know. I'll be at home and getting close to the camp, and then I see like on Instagram Cheeto's at the gym, you know, and I say like, man, Cheeto's at the gym. Okay, I need to be at the gym too because he's number 15 on the ranking too, you know, and it helps like push to have another top fighter going after the same dream as you. And help push each other, you know. So if I see his training, I think like, yeah, okay, I need to be training too, you know. Like, okay, so let me go to the gym, get that. I see him running, okay, let me go run too, you know. Okay, he's doing this, I want to do that too, you know. So it helps push me and try to be the best too. If I can be like the best, like the men's division, you know, then I think that I'll be the best in the women's division too.
I get. Where do you think Randa is more dangerous?
Randa, I think she's the most danger on like her counter attacks on the stand up. I know she's a grappler, but I think it's different levels grappling. For sure, she's smart on the ground, but I definitely think because she's been in so many fights, she has like good to go all 3 rounds. She's fought like she's like got in big fights like where she's getting punched a lot and keep going forward. So I think she really like is good to know her distance and her reach, and I see her movement. She kind of like comes in, does some blitzes, comes out, waits for the counter and comes back. So I think that's the most part that not that I need to be careful, but that I'll have the most difficulties, like to make sure I keep the pressure and not let her start to get her movement in the fight.
Okay, if you get the victory on Saturday, you would like to face against Amanda Rivas to avenge your loss?
I think eventually, yeah, I would like to face her, but not now. I think me and Amanda will definitely fight at the belt. You know, I think that we have so many, especially now that the Corona, people are like fighting so often. So some people are like winning, then lose or lose, and then win. They have so much chance to like change the record really fast right now. And I think Amanda has so much all the potential to get the belt, and I think me too. So I don't know what's ahead of her, who she has for her next fights. I know definitely we both on the ranking, so our future fights are just getting harder and harder and harder. So I don't know if I'll get to the belt before her, or she'll get to the belt before me. But I definitely think that if we have the rematch, will be during the belt, you know, or with me in the belt and she challenging me, or her with the belt and me challenging her.
Okay, I get it. And my last one is, what's your prediction for the fight?
My prediction for the fight, I think that I'm gonna go in there and pressure her so much with the striking, and I think I'll hurt her on the striking, and maybe she'll knock down, and I'll get like a really amazing submission and get the fight bonus.
Okay, thank you very much, Mackenzie. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you so much. Gracias.
We'll go next to Jeffrey Harris with 411 Mania MMA.
Good afternoon, Mackenzie. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So last year, you know, you experienced the first loss of your MMA career. So what is the emotional state like when you have that first loss and then you come back and you're able to win your next fight, and sort of, you know, get that rush of emotion again? What is it like, you know, going from, you know, the loss and being able to overcome that for your next fight and get a win?
Yeah, first, like, definitely it sucks to have like that 0 taken away from the record, you know. Was so nice and pretty to have that 0 there. Definitely like some things changed. Sponsorship wise, I think like kind of some opportunities changed a little bit, but the fact like to be able to get back in, I don't know, I feel like I'm a totally different fighter, you know. Now I think I have got so much momentum now in just my training, my mindset, everything is so good, and I'm just so much more focused than I ever was. That and I'm hoping that everyone too that follows me, that's kind of seeing that what's happening in my life, they notice that too. It feels great to be able to like get that submission, come back on the winning streak. Of course, was just one, you know. So obviously this fight, I'm trying to continue the winning streak, and now I'm in number 15. So that's where I was when I became pregnant. So I'm kind of like, okay, I'm back to where I left off of, and I'm even like 10 times better. You know, I'm in better shape than when I fought Amanda, in better shape than when I fought Hannah. I'm stronger and I'm leaner. The weight's good, so it feels great. It really feels good to like just kind of be so light. And I think even though it sucks to have that zero, to take away the zero on my record, it took a lot of pressure. You know, not that I felt pressure, but kind of took away all the expectations that I think so many people had. And now I feel like anything that I do, like any submission I'll do, any I don't know, like knockout I get, anything, people are gonna be like always surprised and like, man, what is she gonna show me now? No, no, not like before. It was very much like oh well, yeah, she has the train, you know, the hype train, oh, and this and that, you know. So I feel like it took a lot of pressure off the shoulders, and now everything I do is like always to show and prove people and like surprise them and come up and just kind of be more free to become like the best athlete I can be.
Your opponent for this fight, Randa Markos, she's fought in the UFC for almost 6 years. You know, she's fought and beat a lot of big names. She beat Angela Hill, who was in the headlining fight last week. But her record in the UFC is, I think, 6-7-1. Do you think it's more the opposition that she hasn't been able to be that consistent, or do you think she is maybe a little inconsistent as a fighter?
I'm sorry, what's opposition mean? I don't know that word.
Like, do you think it's just she's in there with, you know, such tough opposition that she's not able to get like a big win streak together yet?
No, I think Randa, she's such a tough fighter. Like she's been since the beginning. She's gone up the ranks. You know, I think maybe she just accept. You know, she's down for the fight. You know, she accept the fight. I think she fought maybe Amanda a little bit, kind of not last minute, but kind of because Paige got hurt. You know, so I know that she will take any fight. You know, from what I heard when they offered the fight for me with 2 weeks after my last fight, she was good to go. I was the one that said, no, I want some more time, you know. So I think she just like is really good at she feels good to fight. She's comfortable. She's not scared of anything. So it's good to have that as a fighter, you know. But I think if you want to think about your record, you know, all these things make a difference, you know, to pick good fights, to pick good timing, to have a good training camp. It's great to be able to put on a great fight, but in the end, to get, you know, to where you want to be, the belt, you know, you need to put in all the work, and no one cares, you know, like if you have 2 weeks to fight, if you are pregnant or anything, you know, if you're there to fight, then that will be on your record. So it's hard to have like a winning lose and expect like to be to the belt. But I think she has all the potential. She had all the potential in the beginning too. She went up the ring to get to the belt. You know, she's a tough girl. She's dangerous in a lot of different areas. She's experienced, but I think just the fact that she loves to fight so much and she's there and everything can sometimes make the timing that she picks fights and maybe not so good. And also too, I think she's kind of, like you said, she's been in there for a long time. She's maybe, I think, 36 or 37. So I don't know how much you know, desire she has for, like, you know, drive she still has in it to keep getting, you know, punched in the face and, you know, weight cuts and all those things. So I think maybe that might be taking a little bit feeling, you know, just to be so consistent and, you know, have to keep pushing through it all the time. But she's definitely dangerous, and I know she's going to be a good test for me for sure.
On paper, I think this is a fun, action-packed. I think it's a competitive fight. I think it's going to be a fun matchup. But what do you think?
I agree with you. I think it's gonna be. That's why I trained so hard for this fight. You know, this is the most I ever trained for a fight. You know, I really took this fight so serious. I always try to take my fight serious, you know, but I think my focus before I was pregnant, you know, I had my missed weights. I had like you know, after I finished the fight, I go to vacation. And this, no, it's like kind of, and also with the corona, you know, everything was closed, so kind of helped me just to came back after Hannah, just went back to the gym, and I said, okay, Randa Markos, that's the girl. Vegas, everything's set from the beginning, very like organized. I trained like so hard for this because I know she's gonna like. I think if I'm her, I'm gonna try to go the 3 rounds. I see that she goes 3 rounds a lot. She has a lot of heart. So, and now that I'm at this whole new level of a fighter, you know, I'm definitely not shying away from the fight. So I'm going to definitely put pressure for it, and I think she'll put pressure for it too. So I think the fans are going to be really liking this fight, and it's great to be on the card, you know, Tyron Woodley, Colby Covington, you know, it's going to be a lot of great fights. So we have a lot of high standards to show the girls like on this card.
Thank you, Mackenzie, and good luck on your matchup.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much, Mackenzie. You're all set.
Thank you.
And we will be joined shortly by UFC middleweight Kevin Holland. We are now joined by UFC middleweight Kevin Holland. Kevin, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Our first question will go to Gabriel Gonzalez with Cageside Press.
Hey, Kevin. So I'm curious, when you had the circumstances of your last fight, I mean, your opponent fell out last second, then they rebook you. Fight week is already crazy enough in 2020, but after having that happen, does anything bother you anymore?
Nah, man, nothing bothered me before that. It's all part of the game. I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss or not, but stuff happens. If I'm allowed to cuss, happens. So it's how we live. You know what I mean? It's fight week. I'm here to fight anybody, so I don't really care. I'm hoping that the guy across the hall, however you say his name, the new 8-0 guy, everybody's all in love with. GM3 came up with some stuff last time, so if we come up with some stuff this time, guess what? I'm fighting twice. It is what it is.
I mean, that'd be quite the storyline. Let's talk about this. You're keeping quite the schedule in the pandemic. Does it ever catch up to you? I mean, that's a lot of staying in camp. It's a lot of fights. I mean, eventually you must feel like your body needs a bit of a break.
I mean, my body always needs a break, but I'm pretty sure I'll retire at like 36 or something like that. So when we retire, we're going plenty of vacations and we'll be okay.
Does it feel like deja vu with your schedule? I mean, you're at the same hotel, you go back to the same venue, et cetera, et cetera.
Nah, it's almost like fighting locally again. When you fight locally, like I used to fight for this company called Extreme Knockout or something like that, right? So all their fights were in the same spot pretty much. So it's kind of like doing that all over again. You just get familiar with it. It's second nature. It's kind of like sparring in your own gym. It's freaking fantastic.
What does Darren Stewart bring to the table that makes him a dangerous opponent?
You know what, dude? Honestly, at first, I didn't even know I was fighting Darren Stewart. They sent me a contract for Darren. I thought I was fighting Darren Till. I thought I hit the big show. But then all of a sudden, I got the flyer, and it was Darren Stewart, and I was like, oh, crap. So who knows? We're going to find out Saturday night, though.
How long did you think it was Darren Till?
Like a whole week, days? Like about a week, probably like 7 days. I was so confused, bro. I was telling my grandparents, like, oh, I got a big fight. Nah, it's just another fight. Oh, man. He's a good guy, though. Good guy. Great guy to fight.
All right. Final question, man. What do you most want to show in this fight for yourself?
That's a good question. Man, you guys hit me with some good questions lately. For myself, I just want to show that I can keep getting these dubs, man. So, you know what I mean? Whatever the defense gives me, I'll take it, man. If he wants to grapple, we'll grapple. If he wants to strike, we'll strike. Man, if he wants to sit up there and hug each other for 15 minutes, we will not do that. So let's figure it out, bucko. Let's figure it out.
Hey, thanks, Kevin. Good luck.
Thank you, boss.
We'll go next to Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Oh, sweet.
Hey, Kevin, this matchup with Darren, I asked him earlier, you like to have fun when you fight. You talk to your opponents. You kind of go in there and have a good time. And he actually said he loves it. He loves that. He said you guys might even do a mid-fight selfie. Do you enjoy fighting an opponent who actually wants to fight and isn't trying to trash talk? He just wants to go in there and have a great fight.
You know what? I had a feeling that this guy wanted to go in there and have a good time. So to hear that he really wants to go in there and have a good time, it sounds fantastic until we get in there and we start having a good time. Then all of a sudden it's a good time for one person, not a good time for the other person. And for me, it's always a good time. So we'll figure this out really, really quick.
I know there's been a lot of talk, since you come to the UFC about going back down and doing the welterweight thing. I know you mentioned the Mike Perry fight before. Obviously, these short notice opponents, I would imagine it's probably easier to fight at middleweight. But is that still something down the road you want to do welterweight again?
You know what, man? Me and Mike Perry, it's almost like me and Marvin Vettori right now. We got a relationship going on, man. These guys are my little boy toys. You know what I mean? I don't know which one I want to fight next. I don't know if I want to go fight Marvin Vettori or if I want to fight Mike Perry. The 170 conversation, it's still there. Some days my coaches love the fact that I'm trying to go to 70. Some days they hate it. I come into fight week about 194, 196 pounds. I'm not that big of a guy, but size don't matter, and I'll fight anybody and everybody. So 170 could be next. 170 might not never happen. I don't know, man. But I would love to beat up Mike Perry, and I would love to beat up Marvin Vettori. Other than that, I can't see too much further ahead.
I don't want to look past Darren Stewart anyway, but I mentioned Darren, he wants to have fun. He wants to have a good fight, but there is that little bit of rivalry there. You mentioned with Marvin and with Mike Perry. Would you rather have that? Like, is that kind of the fight you'd like to look forward to? Get that little bit of that rivalry building? Guys who do talk trash, guys who've, kind of built up where, feels like you want to punch him a little bit.
Yeah. So, with Mike Perry, I don't know. It's something weird there, dude. I really want to. I want to hit him, but I don't want to hurt him. You know what I mean? I kind of like the guy a little bit. You know what I mean? He's fun. You know what I mean? Like, if you read our inbox messages, like, he's fun. He's fun. Like, he'd be trying to get like a little tough on there, and then I hit him with a good punchline, and he realized I hit him with a good punchline, so then he kind of like backs off a little bit. I don't know. It's fun. But Marvin Vettori, on the other hand, elbows, knees. Like, that's for sure what happened in the Marvin Vettori fight. Elbows and knees. Like, if he cuts me, fantastic. I get cut pretty much every fight these days. If I cut him, thank you. You know what I mean? If I bloody him up a little bit, lovely. You know what I mean? Mike Perry, it's kind of like, I don't like his attitude sometimes, but other than that, it's kind of a funny guy. Marvin Vettori, he's a snake. He's a dirty dog snake. And I know that doesn't make any sense, but that's what he is. He's a dog and he's a snake. I don't like that guy. Fuck him.
Last thing I want to ask you, Kevin, of course, your focus is on your fight, but we can't ignore there's a big main event on the same card here, Tyron Woodley and Colby Covington. I got to ask your opinion, man. Prediction, who do you think takes it?
Man, you know what? If you're betting, you might want to bet with Colby, right? Because like he's been doing pretty good lately. His last fight he lost to the champ, but it was a close fight until he got knocked. But I seen Dean Thomas in the bus when I was doing another interview with Mike Heck, and I was about to say Colby, and Dean got on my head. So I'm going for Tyron Woodley. You can cut that other Colby part out. I'm going for Tyron. I don't want Dean beating me up. I don't need no smoke. I don't want no problems with Dean. I'm going for Woodley. It's as simple as that.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Jeffrey Harris with 411 Mania MMA.
Hey, Kevin, thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate it. So, quick turnaround for you, but quick turnaround for your opponent as well. And you guys both fought and got finishes on the same card. Does that even things out, or does it matter more like what happens in the gym in between, even though, you guys both fought on the same night last month?
Nah, it all matters. It all matters. You know what I mean? A little chip on my shoulder because I think his finish was faster than mine. I know it was faster than mine. So we're going to go out there and we're going to figure it out this time. You know what I mean? We're going to go out there and get it done. We both got some quick turnarounds, but, ain't nobody don't turn around the way I turn around, Bucko, and I turn around real quick and get the job done. So let's do it.
Did you have any inkling like you'd be fighting like just over a month from now after that last fight, or were you game to do it?
Yeah, honestly, me and him were supposed to fight 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? My grandparents were coming into town, so I had to cancel on that. Sorry, Darren, but you know how it goes when the family's in town. Grandma and grandpa, gotta do what they say. You know what I'm saying? But we're here. So we'll go ahead and knock this one out the ballpark. Baseball bats.
On paper, I think this is all the makings of, fight of the night or a performance of the night. But what do you think? I think this is
I think two bonuses. I think two bonuses in a row sounds crazy. So let's just go out there, get a quick sub, so they don't give submission bonuses anymore, and go home.
But right now, I'm just loving the UFC middleweight division. It's probably one of my favorite divisions in the UFC right now, and I mean, you guys included. But what do you think of how middleweight is stacking up at the moment?
You know what? It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. But the top 15, you know, got a lot of older guys in there. Got to get some of us young bucks in there. Got to change some things around. Keep matching us all young guys against young guys. Might want to match some of us young guys against the old guys. Give us some real good names. You know what I mean? Let us become a little something. That way it can really be juicy and beefy. I mean, you don't want to see Yo. I love Yo Romero to death. I mean, that's fantastic. But how many times you want to see him fight for a title? You know what I mean? How many times you want to see these same old guys going in there doing the same old thing? Plus, I want to be in the video game. I can't get in the video game unless we get these top 15. I see Marvin Vettori crying about top 15. These top 15 guys don't want to fight. Marvin Vettori put it best. They camping like snipers in Call of Duty. But it's okay, though, because they cannot avoid me. They
We got action figures too now, Kevin.
Huh?
We got action figures too now. We need to get you an action figure. So you know, keep racking up those bonuses. I hope we'll get an action figure from you.
That'd be
not
pretty,
just
that'd be pretty
video
sick,
games
man.
now.
I got a little man cave. I'll put it up in the little corner. I promise you I would.
Exactly. I have a feeling we'll be seeing you up in those rankings very soon. But thanks for your time and good luck with the matchup, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
All right, thank you very much, Kevin. You're all set.
Sweet, thank you.
We will be joined shortly by Khamzat Chimaev. We are now joined by UFC middleweight Khamzat Chimaev. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
We'll take our first question from Ilya Andreev with Sport Express. Your line is open.
О, Хамзат, меня слышно? Да, по-русски буду спрашивать. Хамзат, хорошо известна история, как ты собирался поехать к Макгрегору в Ирландию, чтобы с ним разобраться. Не думал здесь, в Лас-Вегасе, пойти и разобраться с Колби Ковингтоном?
Че, он мне про меня что-то говорил, что ли?
Ну, Конор про тебя просто тоже ничего не говорил, а Колби, например, про Хабиба там говорил. Такие нехорошие вещи всякие.
Я не про Хабиба туда поехал.
Понял. Ты встречался в Лас-Вегасе с Даной Уайтом. Не каждого бойца он к себе приглашает. Что он тебе сказал на встрече и о чем ты его спрашивал?
Я ни о чем не спрашивал. Мы просто поговорили, как жизнь изменилась и что в будущем будем делать вместе.
К какому выводу пришли, так скажем?
Да, чуть поближе уже познакомились, посмотрим, как будет дальше.
Что за история, как ты накормил бездомного в Лас-Вегасе, и почему ты это сделал? Расскажи.
Потому что я почувствовал себя так, что я должен помочь ему чем-то, чем я могу. В то время у меня чуть деньги были в кармане, и деньги дал ему, помог с едой. Но я не знал, что мой друг меня снимает, и я никогда не делаю, чтобы люди видели где-то, да, я этому помог или этому помог. Из-за этого, что мой друг на второе утро я узнал, что он меня закинул, и люди начали писать, почему на видео ты это сделал вот так и так. Ну и что ты не делаешь, добро или зло, не знаю. Если даже ты миллион людям поможешь, негативные все равно будет. Люди пишут там негативные, он хочет, короче, зазвездиться из Америки, там что-то там. Ну, Всевышний все видит.
Хабиб, когда начинал карьеру в UFC, вел себя примерно так же, как ты сейчас. То есть он бросал вызовы звездам, тоже говорил слово «размажу», кстати говоря. А можно ли сказать, что ты берешь с него пример в этом?
В разговоре я ни с кого не беру пример. Я Хамзат, Хабиб. Я свои слова от себя беру.
Если ты полетишь на бойцовский остров, то можешь встретиться там с Хабибом, кстати. Что бы ты сказал ему при встрече?
Сказал бы ему удачи в его бою. Надеюсь, что он выиграет свой бой, и я думаю, что он выиграет.
Если ты победишь сейчас, то подерешься с Майей на бойцовском острове, скорее всего. А сколько боев в UFC ты вообще планируешь провести в этом бою? Вот это, прошу прощения, в этом году?
Насколько это возможно, буду драться. Если бою может всякое случиться, можешь травмировать себя, может, если я ударю свою себе руку сломаю, что-то палец сломаю, что-то случится. Если все нормально, так пройдет четко. Пока что все, алхамдулилля, все хорошо идет. И буду продолжать, как я делаю сейчас. Часто драться, как это возможно.
Большое спасибо. Удачи в бою.
Спасибо.
We'll go next to Augusto Niez-Gay with Somos MMA. Your line is open.
Hi, Khamzat. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Khamzat, first of all, what is your prediction for this fight? I mean, will you try to get an early finish, considering that you may have another fight in a month?
I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm ready for everybody. I said I'm gonna finish all my opponents. I'm gonna try to do this in this fight. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna finish this guy.
Okay, and Gerald has said that he felt disrespected by all this situation of you getting another fight before facing him. What can you say about that?
I don't know why it's disrespect. Like in the amateur boxing, like people go like 5, 6 fights a day, but we go like I go fight here now, and after 1 month but I did it 10 days, 2 fights, but I don't know why he feel like this disrespect, like something like that.
And did you have the chance to meet him, maybe at the hotel or something?
Yeah, he was here. I met him. He was like, I said he speak too much. He talk too much in my media. Like he disrespect me. He did like these things. I didn't like that. But I said to him, "You like to talk too much?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm gonna smash your face, chicken." And he said nothing. Like I go from there.
Okay, and which aspects of Gerald's fighting game do you think you should be worried about? Is there anything that concerns you?
What?
I mean, do you have any concerns about his fighting game? Is something you should be worried about?
No, nothing. I'm better everywhere. I'm better wrestling. I'm better grappling. I'm better like in striking. How are you gonna stop me? How? It's like he said I'm jiu-jitsu, but if 8 fights I 8 finish. But this guy's not was like joking like I fighting. This was real fighters. I finished the guys. Who is this guys to stop me? I'm gonna smash his face also.
Okay, and Khamzat, are you still planning to go back and forth between divisions? I mean, don't you think this might be affect your performance in the long term?
What?
Going up and down in between divisions, from welterweight to middleweight. Don't you think this might affect your performance?
Both ways, I can go both ways. Like if they give me some good opponents, 84 kilos, I gonna take this 84. And if they give me 77, 77, I'm ready for both weight class. I won't take like both belt.
Okay, and my last one. If you had to choose only one division, where would you like to compete? Welterweight or middleweight? Where do you feel more comfortable?
Like I said, doesn't matter. It's heavyweight. My coach said to go heavyweight, but against Brock Lesnar, I gonna do this. Doesn't matter for me. I'm ready for everybody.
Okay, thank you very much and good luck on Saturday.
Thanks for you.
We'll go next to Spencer Kite with UFC.com.
Hi, Hamza. Thank you for the time. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for you.
I guess first one is just what have these last 2 months been like for you to go from short notice debut in the UFC to the breakout star of Fight Island to Dana White singing your praises and now making your debut in Las Vegas. What has it been like for you?
It's been like crazy. I never like think like it's. I was thinking next year maybe I gonna get like UFC fight like it's gonna be slowly, but now it's gonna like been crazy, you know. I mean Las Vegas. Now I gonna fight in Las Vegas, but 1 year before I didn't think about that. It was crazy. Everything is turned to crazy.
How have you navigated that crazy? How have you learned to deal with that crazy? Crazy is now your new normal, I suppose.
But now I live close to the gym. Like I live in the hotel. It's like come out from the hotel directly, like to go to the gym. I 2 weeks I was in the Barcelona, like take relax after my fights, and then come back like start to hard work. But people come to me, take the pictures. It's nice to talk to people. Something is different now, but my hard work is stay still. I do my work and yeah, I'm gonna fight with everybody now.
You train with a lot of veterans at All Stars and very respected coaches. What kind of advice and lessons have you been able to learn from Alex, from Andreas, as you start down a road that they've traveled together before?
But from this day I come to the All Stars, my coach is head coach Andreas is always with me. There's many things I get from him. Like every day he shows something to me. My striking, I didn't show my striking, but not in the UFC. But after the UFC, I did my striking also. I knocked out one guy. Like I did TKO in like Because of him, my striking is much better now. Maybe I'm gonna show this in this fight. Maybe it will be like take him down, smash him. From the Alex, it's always motivation be close to the Alex because he did history. Like his fights is always for me when I look there. Now if I look him, it's been motivation for me because he's my brother. I know him. He's so close to me. Like he helped me like when from the beginning. Like I was out money. Him and Reza, Ilir, these guys, he may help me a lot. Like now I come here. Now I have money, everything. I wanna say thanks to these guys because I'm here.
With so much that has changed for you in these last 2 months, there's a lot of attention on you, a lot of people really looking forward to this fight and already talking about the next fight. Do you feel any pressure in this position, and how do you sort of deal with, all of these new expectations that are being placed on you?
No, I don't feel pressure. It's like I like this. So I like to speak with people, talk to people. Like it's nice. If somebody have good energy, like you love these people with the good energy. So they love me, I love them back. It's nice. Everything is nice.
The last one for me, you had a record-setting debut on Fight Island. 2 fights in 10 days, 192 strikes landed, only hit twice. How do you follow up that kind of performance on Saturday night?
I don't know what's gonna happen in Saturday night, but I'm gonna go 100% to kill this guy. That's what I know. I'm gonna do everything there, everything to finish him.
Well, I appreciate the time. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your week, and all the best on Saturday night.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Mike Bond with USA Today.
Hey Khamzat, I was wondering, you made an Instagram post about an hour ago talking about seemingly responding to some criticism about you helping the homeless man. Can you just elaborate on why you felt the need to post that?
Because I see a lot of people like under why they make video. They think I said to my friend do video like I gonna help somebody. Like it's not my style. I never did like this before. I didn't know he filming me, but the day after in the morning I go in my Instagram. There are people to send to me, why are you filming? You like you will show something like that. But no, my mother, my father, he teach me like if somebody need help from you, if you can help him, you have to help him. If you help him after this life, I think I know like God give me something because I help the people.
Is that something as you become a bigger star and make more money and all those things and get more attention and have a bigger platform? Is that what you want to use to kind of give back to less fortunate people when you're more successful?
No, I don't want to be that superstar. I wanna be champion. That's I need. I don't need all wow money. I need normal money like can help my family, help the people like I love, and to be champion. That's I'm like I don't need like be superstar like Floyd Mayweather, like McGregor, like these guys. It's gonna it's be if it's happen, it will be good. I can help to more people with the more money. But for me now, I wanna be champion. It's number one for me. I wanna be number one for Bond.
Well, and the last thing for me, I know you have 2 fights lined up right now, but you had said a few times on Fight Island you want to fight Donald Cerrone. He's talking to us next. He's fighting 1 fight after you on this card. Is the UFC trying to tell us something about a potential fight between you guys here?
Nobody tell me I gonna fight with this guy, but I love this guy. He's one of the, I think, best fighters he been like now. I don't know how he's like fighter, but he's veteran in the MMA. I like this guy, but I wanna smash this guy because he have a good name. Like he's one of the superstar in the USA here. We will see if it happens. I will be happy.
Thank you.
Thanks for you.
We'll go next to Fabricio Souza with Diario Clarin.
Hi, Khamzat. Thank you for your time. I'm sorry for my bad English first.
My English is not so good.
Is the worst. You think you are the fighter of the moment in UFC?
What do you say?
Do you think you are the fighter of the moment in UFC?
I don't know. I'm the fighter. From my fingers fight to my legs. So, yeah, what I can say. I don't know. They do me like they try to do me as a superstar, but I don't think about this shit. But be famous like something like that. But I think about how I gonna be champion. I know I want to be champion, number one pound for pound. I think just about that.
Yes. Do you think many people expect or think many people expect you lose in for with the rapid promotion of some fighters?
John, спросил. What do you say? One more time, please.
One more time. Many people don't like the rapid promotion of some fighters. Do you think many people expect your loss?
De gillar inte att du har de hypar upp dig så mycket. Men många gillar inte att de hypar upp dig så mycket. Vad tycker du?
Yeah, many people like this, many people don't like this. It's always been like this. So what I can do? If they like, and if they don't like, that like. So I gonna do my work.
Okay. Why you are so dangerous into the octagon?
What?
Why you are so dangerous into the octagon?
Because I work harder than everybody.
Okay. In case of winning next Saturday, who you should be your next opponent?
I don't know. I have focus for this guy. I'm gonna finish this guy next. We'll see who gonna be. I don't know.
Yes. Which fighter outside your division do you like or respect a lot?
Many fighters. I have respect for everybody. For everybody, they work for family. This is hard work. I know, because I'm a MMA fighter. If you will be in the UFC, you have to work hard. It's not easy to come to the UFC. Because what they do, how they make money with his blood, in the training, like everything like they do. I have respect because of that for everybody here.
Okay, and the last one, if is for you an extra pressure to end the fights before the decision?
No, nothing. I feel nothing. I feel like I want to fight every day.
Thank you, Khamzat.
Thanks for you.
Thank you very much, Khamzat. You're all set.
It's finished.
We will be joined shortly by Donald Cowboy Cerrone. We are now joined by UFC welterweight Donald Cowboy Cerrone. Donald, thank you for joining us today. Our first question will go to Sumik Dada with Sportskeeda.
Donald, how are you doing?
Good.
So, first thing I want to ask you was, there has been a few reports that have been floating around on the internet and on Twitter suggesting that you might retire this weekend. Is there any truth to all that talk?
Hell no. Where'd you hear that from?
There have been a few reports, like I've read a few stuff that Donald Cerrone might retire if the fight doesn't end up, your way this weekend.
No. Not even in my train of thought. So, wrong question.
Well, that's great, sir. I hope you stay around for a while. So, moving on, earlier in the year, you competed at UFC 246, which was one of the biggest pay-per-views of the years. It was sold out, had a big audience. But then you competed in an empty arena, at UFC 249. So, has there been any sort of difference in experience for you with no audience?
Oh, the audience is cool. It's crazy. It's electrifying, but without it, it's just like early on in your career when you're fighting earlier on the card, getting done when no one showed up yet. So still good, still fun, still get paid. So I don't know, man. It's the crowd roaring and screaming is just a different beast. We'll be back to it probably next year. So right now we're just in a weird little area in life and we've got to go in there and fight. So kind of now it's like fighting in a little back alley somewhere, whereas opposed to out in front of everybody. So it's just same thing, same meat, different gravy.
Okay, so your name has been included in the UFC's BMF resume. I don't know if you've heard of that, but would you be interested in fighting for that BMF title at some point?
I'll fight for anything. Yeah, they call me, I say yes. So, but absolutely, man, I'd love to earn the BMF belt for sure. It'd be awesome to hang over the ranch.
Okay, so one last question. So this Khamzat Chimaev has been calling out a lot lately. I don't know if you've heard of that. He called you out at Fight Island. Khamzat Chimaev, who after his debut fight, he called you out at Fight Island.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. He called me out.
Yeah, he called you out after his debut fight on Fight Island. So, do you have any response to that, maybe?
No, absolutely not. I actually just ran into him in the hallway. So, yeah, sure. I don't care. It's whatever they want. I'm down to fight anyone anytime. It doesn't make any difference to me. So, absolutely, he wins, I win, sure thing.
Okay, one final question from me. So, how do you see this fight playing out this weekend? The co-main event with Nico Price.
I'm looking for the finish, man. So I'm coming to whip some ass, baby. Probably second round finish is what I'm looking for.
That's great. Thank you so much, sir, and good luck for the fight.
We'll go next to Gabriel Gonzalez with Cage Side Press.
Hey, Cowboy. So first off, congratulations. New baby girl at the house. How's that been?
It's a baby boy, Riot River, boy.
Sorry, baby boy. My apologies.
It's all good. No worries.
I mean, it feels like not too long ago you had the first one. I mean, does it feel like deja vu? Back to less sleep, more diapers?
Man, the first one I even had a diapers yet. So yeah, it's double diaper duty, double shits. Being a dad's crazy. It's fun, awesome. I can't wait to get home and see him again, man. But I'm here to work, here to get a job done and support them. So I'm excited moving forward and plan on having a couple more of them. So we're gonna be here again probably in a couple of years. You asked me, you just had another baby. How you feeling? I said, I feel the same, ready to rock and roll.
Was there any particular reason you took a welterweight fight, or was it just, they passed you Nico Price's name and you took it?
Yeah, exactly. Phone rang. They said, Nico Price, 170. I said, sounds good. That's about how the conversation went.
I mean, this is another one. They said it's Nico Price versus Cowboy. Everyone gets excited. I mean, you're no stranger to these, but do you still get a little amped up knowing, hey, this is another guy who's going to throw down with me?
Yeah, I mean, I get more excited when I know, like you said, Nico's a guy that
doesn't shy away, takes the grunt, and comes on forward. So it's cool, you know, and he's going to be right in there in my face fighting the whole time. So should be fun.
What makes him a dangerous opponent?
I think what makes Niko the most dangerous is just he's like got the I don't give a fuck switch and just keeps coming forward, gets hit, gets knocked down, gets dropped, still tries to find a way to win. So the dude's very unorthodox, very wild punches and crazy. So that's what's most dangerous about Niko is the unwillingness to just sit down and quit.
I gotta ask you, final question, the elephant in the room. It has not gone your way the last few fights, but you're back.
4 of them motherfuckers. How about that?
And you're still back in another big fight. Is it safe to say, as long as you put on a show, that the UFC is gonna keep Cowboy around no matter what?
Man, you know, I think, yeah, I'd like to say that, but I'd also, on the same breath, like to think, you know, how many, I don't even want to think about losing again because it ain't gonna happen. I've trained my ass off. I'm ready to rock and roll, but I plan on being here for a long time. I'm going to leave when I'm done. I don't ever want the walking papers. You know what I mean? So when Cowboy's done fighting, I'm going to bend my hat and I'm going to say, all right, boys, I've had enough. I'm out. I don't ever want to have them call my manager and release me. You know, that would totally suck, but I'm going to keep fighting my ass off. And like I was telling everybody in this weeks to come, this fight's for me, man. All the naysayers, all the people say you've lost 4 in a row, you don't belong, you should be retiring. Like the first guy to ask me, I don't give a shit. I don't care if I need to prove anything. I don't need if I prove something. This one's just for me. I got to look myself in the mirror Saturday morning when I go like, let's go, baby. This is for you, Cowboy. And I got to go have all the fun I want with no expectations, no must wins, no must do's, no nothing. Just go and fight my fight and love every second and have fun and enjoy it. And that's where I'm going to be victorious. No matter how the fight comes out, this one's for me. So there's no wrong way this fight can go.
I mean, you got me excited, man. Congrats again on the baby boy and good luck.
You got it.
We'll go next to Mike Bond with USA Today.
Congrats. Hey, dog. Congrats on the little one.
Thank you.
It came a few days early, right? It was originally supposed to be the 23rd.
Yeah, it came, like a week and a half early. He's a week old today. So, yeah, came early. Must have got excited.
So, I mean, probably a little bit of a surprise expecting to maybe go back to that after the fight instead of dealing with it before. What have the past few days been like?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I was more worried about it happening while I was at fight week. Like, that was when I was like, man, mama's going to get, like, worked up and baby's going to come, you know? And so, man, that kind of is all over now. Now it's just time to have fun. So I don't and not a care in the world to worry about. That's all away, and I'm ready to rock.
That's awesome. And I know you said you trained hard for this one. I believe one of your coaches told ESPN that this is the first camp in a while where you did pretty consistent sparring. Can you talk about that a little and why that change was made and how you feel about it?
You know, the Anthony Pettis fight really kind of got me excited and back training and having a good time with the whole training and sparring and fighting and jiu-jitsu and so I was already in the kind of a good place. And then we had these new group of kids that had been coming up and training at the ranch, and the young new fighters, they love sparring. So that's what we did. A lot of sparring, a lot of training, a lot of playing, and it like relit like a kindling fire that I had. I'm like, man, I would look forward to those days again. I'd look forward to having fun. And such a weird career path, this fighting game, man. But you never know, man. So my message to Niko with all this in my sparring, my readies, man, never underestimate the old man when the guys die young in this sport, man. So I'm still here, still fighting hard. I'm fucking ready more than ever.
And in fairness to him, we talked to him earlier and he gave all respect. He said he's preparing for the best version of you ever. So it seems to be a good fight ahead.
And I got nothing ill will to say about Niko. My first time ever meeting him was actually at Florida. We sat next to each other and we talked about, I think he said he has 5 or 6 kids. And I was like, God damn, you are crazy. You know what I mean? 5 of them. Holy moly. So, yeah, brother. Damn. Hats off to you on that one. Woohoo.
You gonna get there? Or are you guys done with 2?
I want 3. I want a little girl. And if I have a boy, I guess I'll have 4. And if I don't have one, I guess I'll have 5. I might be right there with Niko in 5 to 6 years. So we'll see.
Fair play. Last one from me. I know on paper it's the 4 losses in a row, but a lot of people thought you beat Anthony in the last fight. I know, you were feeling great about the decision. Do you carry the confidence, at least, of coming, off a great performance, a winning type of performance into this fight, even though the record may say otherwise?
And the record, it's funny. You guys aren't allowed back in the room with Dana when he has his little fighter talks. But the thing he says every time is, "Don't leave it to the judges." Been engraved in my mind since I've ever been fighting. So what did I do? I left it to the judges. So whose fault is it? It's mine. You know what I mean? I didn't go out there and finish, or I didn't win in a manner that granted me the win. So, a loss is a loss. I'm not making excuses. I'm not saying, oh, we should overturn this, or oh, blah, I think I won. No, I went out there and lost, and that sucks. That was number 3 or number 4. And do I have the confidence? Yeah, because I don't really dwell on that. It doesn't weigh me down. I've been in this is what, 37 or 38 coming for the UFC. So I've done it so many times, and I've been here so many times. Those setbacks suck. They suck. But man, I'm ready to rock. I feel great. The energy of the Anthony Pettis fight carried over into this. I feel good. I got the hunger back. I don't even know if it went anywhere, but sometimes it's kind of hard to be hungry when you're full, if that makes any sense, man. I started making a lot of money, started getting real lazy and kind of content where I was. Maybe it took getting my ass beat and wiped across the mat a couple of times to rekindle the fire. So it worked. I'm here. I'm ready. So Saturday night, maybe you'll see a new improved Cowboy making one more motherfucking run, baby.
Let's go. Thanks, Cowboy.
You're welcome.
We'll go next to Cote Cruz with 4-1 Podcast.
Hey, Donald, can you hear me?
I got you.
How you doing, brother? Nice talking to you.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on the baby, first of all. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Let's get brash to business. You've been around the block in the MMA game for a while now. You've challenged for the title. You've fought for the title. You've fought multiple weight divisions. You've experienced the sour end of the sport as well, right? So you're a household name
right now. Yes.
Yeah, of course, but I trust you can go hard tonight on Saturday. I'm sorry. There's so much experiences to draw from this career of yours. What was the best advice you've ever gotten from in your MMA career by somebody else?
Oh, to enjoy the journey. Yeah, enjoy the journey, man, because even me sitting here talking to you, one day this isn't going to be here. I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss these moments. The cutting of the weights, the no eating of the food, the hurry up in the weights, and the anxiety and the pressure and the have to's and the did I's and the don'ts and the should I's. I'm going to miss all that. So my advice that I could give a younger me, or my advice I could give these younger kids, enjoy the journey, man. Enjoy the moments that all this entails, right? The training camps, the injuries, the fights, the headaches, the this, the that. Enjoy all that, man, because one day this ride's going to be over and we're going to be sitting back wishing we had those moments again. So that's my advice.
And what kind of advice would you tell the new and up-and-coming fighters that no one ever told you?
Well, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll, baby, for sure.
That's awesome, man.
Honest truth, man. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. So the kids that think they want to just come and be famous overnight, man, sit your ass down, boy. Watch.
Because you got another thing coming. I want to sing too, baby.
You got it, man. You got a little AC/DC on you.
Yeah. So when you became a father, the MMA community witnessed the rise of Daddy Cerrone.
Daddy.
You had quite a special run, fueled, as you said, by the birth of your son, Daxon.
Yeah.
Is it fair to assume that the arrival of Little Riot is bringing some of that primal fire back?
Come on, now I'm a double daddy. One on each arm, baby. I feel it. I feel good. And it's primal, man, for sure. So it's cool. He don't know it yet, but Little Riot, he'll be watching. One day we'll sit there and I'm like, man, there's your dad. And he'll be like, where's all the people, Dad? And I'm like, yeah, it's a weird. That was the same year you were born. A bunch of fucked up shit happened and no one was allowed to get in. We had to wear masks. And anyway, skipping forward a few years, there's Daddy with the crowd again. So we're back.
Well, about the fight on the Saturday, what can you say about your camp for the fight? Because I heard you on the last camp's video blog, which is awesome, by the way. I love that kind of content.
Thank
And
you.
you spoke a lot about enjoying. You spoke a lot about enjoying the ride, about
Yeah.
loving what you do. I loved seeing you with the awesome Carlos Condit in there scrapping with you, helping you getting ready.
Oh yeah.
Do you feel this camp delivered for you in terms of happiness and fulfillment?
I do, man. I feel like this camp made me fall back in love with why I'm doing this. You know what I mean? For sure. So, am I ready? Yeah. Are we going to see a new cowboy? No. Same old bad, nasty motherfucker you've seen for years. He's just going to come out a little earlier. That's all.
Yeah, baby. Hey, you've been around the business of the silver screen and even a few movies. You portrayed Big Boy in Mark Wahlberg's Spencer Confidential earlier this year.
Right.
This has been one of many appearances. Are we going to see you? Where are we going to see you next? Do you have any more TV or film related projects?
Yeah, I got a big Western coming up. Excited about. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be a famous movie star, baby. I got to do something to keep.
I thought you were aiming for the stunt work, but
the stunt side's fun too. Yeah, I enjoy the stunt side. That's just because I got to do crazy shit. But doing the acting's also fun.
Who
So
doesn't?
I'm enjoying both of it. Won't turn any jobs down at all. The only problem is I got to tell the directors, "Hey man, I can do this, but if the UFC calls and has a fight, I'm out of here." So that's the problem.
priorities, man. Last question for me, and this is kind of personal. You said there's something in seeing you and your buddies in the same equipment. You said it on the last video blog. You said it had some feel to it, and I couldn't help to wonder. That's a lot like paintball, a sport you practice and love as well. I've been dabbling in paintball myself for the last 15 years, and I was wondering, is there any chance we could actually see you compete in the future on an NXL event?
Oh yeah, I'd love to. I just shoot all the people that come to my house, so I don't even know how it'd be against real people, but I'm down. Yeah. I'm
I
like
would
the
love to see you there, man.
you know what I mean? That's how I figure. I like the best of the guys that don't know what they're doing. So it's almost not even fair.
I'm pretty sure you're the savage that runs to the 50 on the break, man.
Absolutely, 100%. So I'm with you. I'll come play with you.
Man, I would love that. That would make my life. Thank you, Cowboy. It was awesome to talk to you, and best of luck on your fight, man.
You got it, amigo.
I appreciate it.
No worries.
We'll go next to Ezekiel Bergonzi with Somos MMA.
Hey Donald, how are you?
I'm good,
Congratulations
Ezekiel.
for your new baby.
What's that?
Hey, congratulations for your new
Oh,
baby.
Thank you.
So I asked Nico Price, what do you bring that makes you a dangerous opponent? And he said that he admires you and that you bring a lot of experience. So how do you feel facing a rival that admires you? Like, how do you feel about that?
Oh, sure, but I mean, it's hard for Nico to say otherwise. I have a lot of experience. Like I said, I've done this more than anybody. You know, and Nico, he it's just like me saying he's a game opponent. The guy gets hit and keeps coming. So, but how do I go? Someone admiring me, man. I same as I go fighting my friend or anybody else. Just go in there and do what I do, enjoy it, love it.
How do you know a lot of fighters are focusing a lot of super fights or prize fights? Do you think that the aspect of enjoying the game, like you said before, is losing in these these fighters? Do you think that fighters should enjoy more what they do and not focusing so much on, oh, I need to jump to divisions, or oh, I need to get more money? What do you
Well, that's
think?
what it all comes down to is money, isn't it? So they want to fight that guy and this because it creates more hype, which is more money. So of course, I'm not mad at him for that. But are you asking me? I think it's taken away from the sport. This is what the sport is: big fights, big build-up fights, and that's what everybody wants. That's what everyone likes to see. So those are the best selling because why? The world wants to see it too. They want to see this guy talking shit, fight this guy talking shit, and them get together. So I think you're asking the wrong guy, but I think I like the big market fights.
You know, what do you enjoy the Conor McGregor build-up? Because it probably was the biggest fight of your career.
Sure.
In that point, do you enjoy it, or do you prefer a more low-profile
No,
build-up?
I enjoy it. It's fun. Like I said, it's all about the journey and the ride. So I enjoyed the whole process of it. You know, it was fun. The fight didn't go very well, but the journey was great.
You face a lot of the biggest names of your division, like Conor, Pettis, Nate. Which fight of your career do you enjoy most? Even your WEC fights, which one do you enjoy the most?
Probably Razor Rob McCullough was the biggest kickboxer, biggest striker at the time, and we went in there and threw the hell down. So it was a good fight, a lot of fun, and still to this day I enjoy it.
What do you change in your game plan from your last fight to this one?
Nothing. Not a thing. Poured a little bit more fun, sprinkled a little more fun on it this time.
And what do you like about Nico Price besides the aspect of he always brings up, like he doesn't step back?
Oh, he's a good dad. I like that he's a good father.
Thank you very much and good luck
You're
on
welcome.
Saturday.
We'll go next to Jeffrey Harris with 411 Mania MMA.
Good afternoon, Cowboy. Thanks very much, and congratulations on the birth of your baby boy.
Thank you. Can you guys hear all these questions, or is everyone like in there?
Yeah, I was hearing all of them.
Oh, cool.
So I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a new action figure out for you yet. Has Jazzware sent you
Dude,
one?
how crazy
Are you
is
going
my
to put it
buddy?
all over the home?
Dude, check this out. It's funny you said it 2 seconds before I walked in here. My buddy just sent me a picture from Walmart of him ordering. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, two. He said, "Look at that! I ordered 2 of them." I was like, "Oh, I got it. Walmart. You can pick those up now." So yeah, I had no idea. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can walk into Walmart and you can pick up your own Donald Cerrone Cowboy action figure. So, did you ever imagine you get like your own action figure getting to do this?
Pretty cool. Be even cooler to have your kids playing with them, right? Like, oh yeah, you're playing with daddy. That's cool. Yeah. How about that? So
Hey, so what is it like, fighting in the quarantine in the COVID era? Are you getting used to it? Does it take Are there aspects you have to, work on and getting used to, or do you feel is it easier now? I'm just curious.
the quarantine is what I need to get used to. I am not a sit still, be trapped in a building guy. So like last night being quarantined, like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? You know what I mean? So that's the only part to me that sucks is all the quarantine. Like, oh yeah.
I know you like the action sports, but I'm just curious, will you be getting like the Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5 for the Cerrone household, or are you not much into gaming?
No, I couldn't even tell you the last game I played. I've never even played my own character in any of the video games, so I probably should do that. But yeah, I'm not a video. There's too much life to live for me to play video games. Plus, I'm like a terrible gamer, so if I were to do it, I'd just get my ass beat the whole time. So it's not even fun for me. So I'd rather go shoot a real gun or go fishing or hunting or play on a bike. So.
And if I can just share with you, the one fight I got to see you live was back in 2009, WEC 45, against, I think it was Ed Ratcliffe, and you put on quite the show that night. And I remember, I think in the final round, like, it was a small little arena. I think it was at the Pearl, and like you asked for like all the fans, like, come on, make some noise, and everyone just stood up on their feet, and it was a special moment. So, if there's something I'm gonna take away from your career, you always put on a show for the fans, and
awesome.
I feel like that's your legacy. You're one of the most exciting fighters of all time, and I just want to tell you how much I appreciate that and how much you've done over the years and always putting on a show for the fans and giving us great fights. So
Thanks,
thank you,
Mango.
man.
And Saturday ain't gonna be nothing less. I plan on going out there and giving it my ass. So everything I got.
I have no doubt, Cowboy. Thank you, and good luck for your fight.
Already.
We'll go next to Pablo Santamaria with Noti MMA Ecuador.
Hi, Cowboy. Can you hear me?
I got you.
Congratulations on your baby.
Thank you.
The first thing I want to ask you is if you plan to stand and bang with Niko, or you expecting a more technical fight?
I do plan on standing and banging. Yeah, I mean, 100%. That's what I like to do. That's what the fans like to see. Is it dangerous? Sure. But is it fun? Hell yeah, it's fun.
So maybe we expect you win the fight of the night bonus, or maybe the performance night of the bonus of performance of the night if you do that.
Hell yeah, I'm coming for those. I want 2 of them, baby. I'm here. I'm here.
Nico said that once an awesome finish. Would you like to do the same thing? Got a amazing finish, like head kicking him, or something like he does, kicking him from the ground, or something like crazy stuff.
Nah, I want 1 shot, 1 kill, knockout. You know what I mean? Those are what I want. Like the weird fluky. I don't want those. I want he meant to do that. That was an intentional strike.
Okay, you will stay at welterweight, or you will keep fighting lightweight and welterweight?
They call me and tell me they want me to fight at middleweight. I'll say okay. They want me to fight at lightweight. Okay. They called me and said feather. I just don't know if I could make it. So, but yeah, I mean, I enjoy fighting at 55. I enjoy fighting at 70. Probably, I don't know, 76, 75 right now. Eating whatever I want. So I just not a real big guy. That was my problem fighting these welterweights. They're coming from 200 pounds, cutting weight. Where I'm at 55, I'm big. So 70 is easier. Life's a lot happier. 55, for sure, I plan on doing it.
Okay, I get it. So what's your prediction for the main fight, Colby against Tyron, and what's your prediction for your fight, How?
Yeah, they're both great wrestlers, so there probably won't be zero wrestling going on with it. So it'll probably be like a pitter-patter striking match. That's probably what's going to happen. But I don't know. We'll see if Woodley can knock Colby out.
And for your fight, what's your prediction?
Oh, I'm winning second round. Yeah, I'm going second round. Cowboys going home.
Thank you very much, Donald. It's a pleasure to talk to you. And my last thing, would you like to send a message to your Ecuadorian fans?
Hey, man, thank you for the years of support. And I plan on giving you very many more years to come. So enjoy.
Yeah, thank you, Cowboy, and good luck on Saturday.
You got it.
Thank you very much, Cowboy. You're all set.
Sick.
We will be joined shortly by Johnny Walker. We are now joined by the number 11 ranked UFC light heavyweight, Johnny Walker. Johnny, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, my friend. How are you?
Good, thanks. We'll take the first question from Gabriel Gonzalez with Cage Side Press.
Hello, Johnny. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. So, can I ask, was this your first or second camp at SBG in Ireland?
It's the first one. The last time when I was there, I just visited to my girlfriend, and I've been on the gym for like 2 weeks, but it's a really nice time.
Now, we know that you've trained in a couple different places, and now you're saying, you're going to move to Ireland. You really like the team there. What is it about them that, it's just the right fit for you?
Because, ever, I would like to move with my girlfriend and maybe next year or as soon as we can. And she's working on Qatar right now, and she's Irish. And we want to choose a place that she can work, teach, and I can train. So Ireland look like a really good place. But you cannot have really plan right now because the corona makes so many restrictions. Sometimes you can go to the country, another time the border is closed. But yes, it's something that I'm thinking about.
I have to ask, have you seen Conor McGregor around the gym?
So not yet.
Talking about your time since your last fight, we know that you had previously tested positive for COVID-19. Can you describe what it was like for you?
For me, it was okay. I just lost my sense of smell, and my nose get a little bit blocked. Then because my nose blocked, I have to breathe from my mouth when I'm sleepy. So just for 1 week, and when I get the positive test, my girlfriend have to do the test and her family as well, and nobody get the test positive, everybody negative. And I think this means that I have the corona, but I'm not like I don't transmit the virus, so I'm not contagious. So it was good. I don't feel nothing else, no other symptoms, and I really quickly. I heal up
Well, that's
quickly.
good. Good news. I'm happy to hear it. Your last two fights, obviously, did not go your way. From your last one in May, what did you take from that fight when you went back to the gym to work on your game?
Well, for my last two losses, I learned a lot. Like you have to keep your mental health good because the fight you have to be present on the fight. You cannot think about any other problems, but not just on the fight day. You have to be like very focused, and your mind have to be really focused. Whole company training, the fight week, the fight day. You can't relax. You have to focus all the time. Focus on diet, on training, everything. You need to have good people around you that you can trust as well. So I changed this. I have everybody around me is good people that help me, that I can trust. And the second one is about training. My last fight, I feel a little bit my muscles get so much athletic, like I get tired because Nikita Krylov put a lot of pressure on, and my gas out. I can breathe good on that fight, but my muscles get tired. I think I was a little bit overtrained because I trained really good in Montreal with Firas Zahabi, really good training camp, and I fly to Brasilia 2 weeks before the fight, and I keep training hard, doing cardio and pad work like twice a day, and I don't do that. I should give my body time to heal up and recover from their hard training camp. So now I try to do everything right with the experience that I had, and I hope the next time if I need to learn something, I learn from my victory.
Thank you, Johnny. Good luck.
Thank you.
We'll take our next question from Pablo Santamaria with Noti MMA Ecuador.
Hi, Johnny. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking. I want to ask you. You said that the mental health was important to keep fighting. So I want to know if Coach Kevin help you with the mental health or give you some advice to have the right mindset.
This is more personal, you have to do some brief techniques, yoga, meditation, keep away of troubles and problems, and know how to deal with your troubles and problems, and keep your mind really clean and think positive, because when you're gonna fight, your brain control your body. So if your brain is not 100%, if your mind is not 100% to give you the right reaction, and if you're not focused enough during the fight, 1 second you can be knocked out. So the mental health is really important. You have to keep your mind clean and very focused for the fight. not just for the fight, but the camping train, the whole camping train. Try to keep your mind good and fight week and every day. You just can relax after your hands up after you win the fight.
I get it. Your opponent Ryan Spann is on a 8-fight streak. Where do you think he's more dangerous?
He's a top contender. He's a strong guy, tall, young. So everybody on this division, top 15 is dangerous with everything. Everybody train everything today, you know, jiu-jitsu, box, Muay Thai, Western. So I train hard for this fight and I know I'm ready.
Okay, in 1 week, Dominic Reyes and Jan Blachowicz are going to fight for the title. What's your prediction for that fight?
You know, in this level of fight, you can't really predict something because both guys, top contenders, you know, top fighters, they're gonna go to the title shot now. And how can I predict two of the best guys on the division right now? Because is their position on the ranking, so you can predict. I can't predict nothing. I just very excited to watch and see what's gonna happen.
Okay, thank you very much, Johnny, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Johnny. You're all set.
That's it.
This concludes today's UFC Fight Night on ESPN Plus Covington vs. Woodley Virtual Media Day. Video recordings will be sent out later today. UFC Fight Night on ESPN Plus Covington vs. Woodley takes place Saturday, September 19th from the UFC Apex facility in Las Vegas and will be available exclusively in the US on ESPN Plus. Thank you for joining, and you may disconnect.